Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome back to this week's edition of the GKP Live. Hope everybody's good. Usual thing, folks. We will be right back after this. Welcome back. How's it going, bud? You all right?
Yeah, not bad, thanks.
Excuse me. Yeah, good, mate. Apologies for being a couple of minutes late. I was out there servicing and cleaning the filters on the pond. It needed doing. I do believe we could have the dreaded fluke still again. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that I'd given it a good water change and a good water filter clean in preparation for this weekend, where I'm going to be doing a couple more scrapes and having a check to see if there is something going on. I'm not seeing anything major like I was, but just
to be honest, Daz, I've seen a couple of my fish flashing in the big fish in the top pond, so I think I'm going to have to be doing some scrapes. And I have a strong feeling that might be flukes again.
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks. It's been a calm, nice environment for 2 weeks. But I do think that there might be a little bit of something going on in there. So a couple more scrapes to do at the weekend, which is all good fun.
Might be time to try the Prazzy, what's it called?
Whatever it is. I don't want to say it wrong. It sounds a little bit different, doesn't it? Well, as of yet, we have no Vince and we have no Rick. But I do believe they will be coming. They've both been sent the link, so hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll be joining us shortly. What have you been up to, Daz? Oh, no.
Yeah, cleaning tanks out in the tunnel, getting them prepped because I'm ordered some fry from New Forest, so I'm going to give those a go. The mixed fry. See how they.
You're going for the mix then?
Yeah,
or
go for the
mix. What particular mix, or just a random scoop of everything?
Just the sort of the big mix of everything.
Sweet.
Just add a bit of variety to the fish I'm rearing as well.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, mate, I might get to see some of the different varieties that is done in there as well, and see if you've got any of them thrown in. Have you spoken with Rick direct, or have you placed an order just through normal channel?
I placed an order online, but then I spoke to the other guy, Carl, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke to him last weekend about delivery dates and that, so yeah, all good.
When are they due?
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Now, I don't know if any, or I'm hoping the vast majority you did. Last video that we did was down to Daz's Koi Farm to do a little bit of grading. And we did, myself, Vicky and Daz, we did a little bit of grading, then did the grow pond cappings and toppings. But we graded through the fry, and Daz was showing us them last night, and I was gobsmacked. The fry that we were grading through were probably, no more than 1.5 centimeters, yeah. 15 mil. But he picked them up and scooped them up and put them in one of the glass viewing tanks that you've seen on his videos in past. And I shit you not, they were literally this sort of size, pushing over the 2-inch mark, some of them, which is absolutely crazy. I can't believe just how much they've grown. So we're going to have to be going down and doing a grading again, because this time we'll definitely be grading for patterns, because they've all come on leaps and bounds, absolutely leaps and bounds compared to what they were before.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I got a bit fizzy this pop.
Don't talk to me about fizzy pop. I was on a can explode. It went all over the whole kitchen, everywhere.
And that's it.
I just put it down on the table. It went bang.
Just exploded all over his trifle, all over the kitchen, table, floor, worktop, everything. And I missed it all. I'd have loved to have got that on camera. That'd have been Right, we'll have a quick whiz through on some of these. And tonight, ladies and gents, we are going to be going through all types of tanchos that people have been sent in. Now, some people have sent in some really nice tanchos. Some people have sent in tanchos that don't belong to them, haven't they, Nip? All the same, one beautiful example of an absolutely stunning tancho. Absolutely, tancho show. It was absolutely beautiful, that fish. And we got an evening from Nip and Koi.
Evening, Nigel.
Unless you're trying to tell us something, that particular koi is yours, and you've been out and spent an absolute fortune on an absolute stunner, because it's a beautiful fish. I'll show you all later on. We've got good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a good week so far. Let's get ready for another Thursday Night Live with the guys. Thank you very much, Vicky. I appreciate that. Dave from DT Koi says, good evening all. Hope you're all well so far this week. Good man.
Evening, Dave.
Thank you very much. Budgie Pondkeeper, hi all. Thank you very much for joining us, mate. Matt from Koi Central, evening all. Is it me or does it? Right, I found out what it is. Over in the States, which is where YouTube is all based, they don't use the daytime saving hours that we use. So they don't spring forward and fall back with the clocks. So since the clocks went forward, they haven't changed it. So it still stays the same. So once the clocks go back, apparently it's been doing it on everybody's lives. So it's not me, it's YouTube. It's a YouTube thing. So just so everybody does know, it will always be 7:30, thereabouts, depending on how late we are when we turn up. But it will always be on average 7:30-ish. But yeah, it does, mate. You're right, Matt. It does say 8:30, but it only says 8:30 on mobile devices. Some people saying that when they look on a PC or on the TV, it says 7:30. To me, it says 7:30, so I don't get it. It's weird.
Yeah.
Edward Guppy says, good evening, Gaz, Daz, Vince and Ricky. Have a great evening, as always. Thank you very much, mate. But we've got no Vince and Ricky, but I've sent them the link, so I'm assuming they're going to be joining us. Paul Mack says, evening all. Here's to another great live. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us again. Seska says, late as usual. Sorry. How's the fiberglassing going on? Or did it stay too long? Now, they were doing a bit today, but apparently we're absolutely boiling. So I think they were going to wait till it cooled off a little bit.
Hopefully, dodge the rain. Let's go with it.
Oh, they've got it just tapped off and everything. It's all boxed off. Made a proper shelter all the way around it. So, but I think something like 9:30 this morning or something like that, or it might have been about 10ish. They were saying it were 26 degrees there already, and I were only in like 21 degrees where I were in Manchester. So they were getting some way more warm than what we were.
Yeah.
Ricky Brown says, "Evening, fishy friends. Thank you very much for joining us."
Evening, Ricky.
There's our Aaron. Good evening.
Evening, Aaron.
Seska's hi everyone. Will's Coy says, evening all. Hope you're all good with a thumbs up. Thanks for joining us, bud.
Hello.
Hope you're well, mate. Kushti Coy says, hi all.
Evening, Kushti.
Cheers. Hi all. Thanks for joining us, guys. Amanda Smith, evening everyone.
Evening, Amanda.
John Corp says, evening everyone with a thumbs up. And we've got a hi all from Lloyd's Coy. That's a new name. Let's see. That looks like a new one to me. Let's have a quick look. Let's see if we can find his channel.
He's got his own bank as well, hasn't
he? We have got a little bit of an update what we've been up to, and welcome to my new channel, which is a 2-week ago video. We've got 2 up at present, so while we can, because we like to, we shall share that. If everybody can do us a huge favour, new channel up and coming. We have 2 videos out at present. There's the gentleman or ladies link. If you could do us a huge favour, guys, swing by, give them a like, share, subscribe, and let's see if we get another channel growing. That's you up now, mate, at 20 at least, because I've just give you a subscribe and I've rung the bell with all notifications. Thank you very much for joining us, mate.
I shall do the same.
Thank you very much, Dad. I wonder where the guys are. I wonder if they're busy. I wonder if
maybe it's an emergency spawn.
You never know. Might be. Oh, god damn. Camera went a bit weird then. Dale Souter says, evening everyone. Thanks very much for joining us, Dale. Sharpies guy says, hey up me ducks. How's it going, bud? Hope you're well. Jamie from Life Around the Koi Pond says, hello everyone. Hope you're all
evening, Jamie.
Keep cool. I don't think most of us have been keeping cool. And one thing we need to all be making sure that everybody knows, and everybody that we know, make sure you've got plenty of air on in your ponds at this time of year, guys, and make sure you're giving them as much as they can, because these temperatures are rocketing up again.
Yeah. I've got every aerator on the go at the minute.
Yeah, when I set off this morning, it weren't too warm, about 19 degrees this morning when I set off. But when I've come back home, the pond is at 26 degrees. So it's getting warm. 26 degrees is pretty damn warm for a non-unheated pond, which fish are feeding like crazy, though. Absolutely going like nuts. Here we are. Where's it is? Oh, there we go. There's one. How's it going? Have you been having an emergency spawn?
No, I've been making spears and mending tyres. Or punches.
Oh, making spears. Would that be a school homework project?
No.
For the herons?
No, he just wanted a Stone Age spear.
Good man. Why not? Have you done it properly? Have you shown him how to break it with a flint by boot? To keep the corners off?
Yes, show me spear, mate. Rubber band, hair clip. Just
a little bit like that
Stone Age.
It looks a bit like that thing you had hanging on the wall the other day.
Me and my sons did it. We went to the beach and we found, like, like if you get 7 pieces of stone, if you give it a good whack, you get shit like slivers off.
Yeah.
And we broke them off and made little sharp tips. Honest to God, mate, you could have shaved yourself with them. They were sharp as hell. But we did it the right way. We got a nice stick. We whittled off the bark and we plaited it and made some cord and we tied it on. We did it. We didn't use no hairband and clip.
Did you light a fire with 2 sticks as well?
We did.
We tried.
We straight up, we did. Yeah, I wanted to see. we made the whole job lot. We made a bow, and we made a piece of cordage, and we made an actual carved out piece of wood, and we brought it back. The only thing we actually used for a little bit of kindling was a bit of cotton wool, just to see if we could do it and get it to work. And it does work. It takes a little bit of doing, but we did get it to go.
Apparently, if you ever caught out the lint from your tummy button, the fluff is a good fire lighter.
Not
Top
mine.
survival tip.
Oh, well, it's shit then, because I might wash mine out. What happens if you've been swimming prior to it?
Well, that's it. You're done for then.
Yeah,
Always like the fire before you go swimming.
Now, as I said, we have got the tan shows to look at, and there has been a fair few sent through. So at one point when I've got one photo I need to take off my phone to show you guys. So it's just a little bit of a joke one that's been sent in.
Not
my one, is it?
No.
I'm stretching it.
It's not a crayon one, is it?
I mean, technically, mate. I mean, yours is not a tan show, but
No, I know.
But there are some. I mean, what is it that you think makes a tan show?
A red spawn white fish.
Well, if we're going to say a traditional tan show would be white background, red spot. But they've apparently now, from the video that I was watching earlier this season, they now have accepted tan shows in different types and different, as long as, for example, an achiever. An achiever can be a tan show with a full grey body and a brown spot.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I
But
get that.
if let's say, for example, you've got a red spot and then more patches of red down the body, then it would be classed as a maritime.
It would.
For all those that may have sent through pictures of it because it's got a spot, but it's got colour down the body, it's not technically a tan show. It's a maritime then instead. But all the same, still.
But you did say tan show types.
Exactly, that's what I mean. I mean, it's tan show type, isn't it? But I mean, technically, I could have stretched it really, really far, and I could have used my what's it called? Benigoi, because now my Benigoi has got a little black dot right slap back in its head. It might fade back, it might disappear, or it might get bigger. If it gets bigger and it becomes a nice full circle, it won't look too bad, as long as it don't get any more anywhere else. But
I spent 20 minutes last night in the dark chasing bloody fish in my chest waders around the pond. I caught the best tan show in the pond I got it in the tank, ready to take a photograph. The bloody camera, the battery was flat in my camera.
So you can take a picture of it after 20 odd minutes and Wade's chasing it.
Yeah.
Have you heard out from Vince? Have you heard out
Sorry?
from Vince?
Vince? Not today. Well, this morning he was about.
Well, I know. I was speaking with him earlier on, and I know he was saying he was getting car sorted out and getting his car, so maybe he's doing a little bit of that. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll go away.
We shall see.
Work emails coming through. Yeah, we'll see. We'll have a quick look on what we've got question-wise, because we do have a few, and we do have a few people that's put in a few bits and bats, and there are some individual questions for a few individual people.
Does anyone know a good hairdresser?
It's getting a bit long, isn't it? Be getting in your eyes before.
Why?
Let me sort it for you, Ricky.
Yeah.
Actually, my wife's pretty good at hair cutting.
It's a long way to drive.
It is, yeah. It's been expensive haircut in fuel.
We'll go for your first question because it's going to be the first one for Daz, and it comes from Aaron from Umbercoy.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to know what Daz's monthly trifle intake is in kg.
Oh, let's see.
That's going to be. How many grams is in that one?
Here, ready.
Just so happens.
600 grams. So let's say an average of 2 a week.
2?
Yeah,
That's a lot of trifle.
That's a lot of trifle.
That is a lot of trifle. What's that
And
like?
are you going to tell the truth and let everybody know that they're actually family-sized trifles that you're eating, aren't they?
Yeah.
in one sitting. That's like a bit of trifle in case anybody didn't know.
Doesn't turn up in here.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's his first little joke one from our Aaron. And then
2,400 grams.
Sorry.
2,400 grams of trifle per week. Check this out. 10.
Glastonbury, isn't it?
It's Glastonbury weekend and we're not going.
Bloody
Oh, you're
hell.
not going?
You got
We're
the
not
haircut
going.
and everything, though.
It's happening in our front room.
Oh, well, you're having it live on big TV and just camping out in living room.
Yeah.
Is that why you got the Stone Age spear? Is that for the
I don't know
Well,
what
solstice
I don't know what the
stuff.
spear's for, mate. I don't know. He gets an idea in his head and you just got to go with it.
Yeah, why not? Well, teaches him a bit of something, doesn't it? Even if you did use an air bubble. Christy Coy has asked a question for yourself, Rick. I'd like to ask Rick, what food does he use for his fish?
Yeah. I'm not going to say fish food, am I? We use Coppen's spirulina diet
There you go.
pretty much exclusively.
Spirulina. And
We
you
sell it as Vitality.
as Vitality. There you go, mate. So Coppen's spirulina food, but it's in their shop as Vitality. That's what you want. Oh, and the Munger Mix, which is on Vince's video with full ingredients and how to make it.
Yeah, it's the same food,
But
just an additive.
Yeah, that's the secret, your secret pond, isn't it? Or experimental pond. I guess that.
Trial
Or do they all get that? Do you feed that to a
no,
lot of them,
no.
or
Just
that.
mine.
just yours?
Yeah,
Um,
it's-
Does it make a
Oh, that's-
noticeable difference then between yours and the other fish?
yeah, yeah. I got a perfect environment, and I to try
Yeah.
same fish, same water, just different foods or whatever. So yeah, make it. Yeah, it makes quite
In terms of growth, like volume growth or colours?
it's just color, health. It just they're just better for it, but it is a pain and expensive to mix up for a farm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it.
So
Well worth it.
yeah, for a small volume of your better fish to make them shine. So yeah,
Maybe you should start to market it, Ricky.
I don't think it's anything special to market. It's just you're just giving them every available option to make all the different pigments shine and make them look good. But you could also just buy the top food in the market to do the same thing, pretty much, can't you?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
So but it does make it's surprising. Obviously, the difference, what mine look like, and some of the ones from the farm, brother, sister, same size, same age, same water in it. Yeah, you just polishing them off for the final sale, or for if you take them to whatever you're doing with them. It just does make them sparkle.
Sparkle. Yeah. Gives them that extra bit of coloration to the and bling. Yeah, makes them look the best when you come out to sale.
Yeah, it takes the thing is it takes you feed it, you think you feed it, and you see a difference, and it's not something that happens short term. You do it for 6 weeks or whatever, and then you look at the same fish, and I'm in a privileged position that I can see exactly the same fish in a different pond or whatever that have got the same genetics, the same water qualities, the same temperatures, but just differences in food, and it's like, wow, there's no denying the difference.
Yeah.
If it does the trick, mate, it does the trick, doesn't it? If it makes them look better and it helps, bring out the vitality of the fish and makes them look more vibrant, then that's going to get you sales. It's worth it. Even if it is, I mean, if you're buying it in bulk, I suppose it'll go a hell of a long way and it'll last a long time if you buy it.
It's not the cost of the ingredients. It's just a pain to make. It's a pain to make. To make the food wet rules out all of our feeders on the farm for a start.
Yeah.
So
it's hand feeding
Yeah.
when you're using that stuff all the time. Though.
Yeah. So it's hand feeding and using exactly the right amount every day. So in one pond, I know probably one of the biggest things is the amount they'll take is different. You can double. I can mix up a whole day's worth of food, and once it's soaked and ready, they'll eat it in one sitting. And you're like, well, they're just eating twice as much food as normal straight away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but it is a pain to make, and if we could afford to feed the best food, we would, but you just can't. You just wouldn't make any money as a business. So, yeah.
Have either of you ever noticed? I mean, I know I was saying like last week, I lost the Yamabuki, but my pond has changed. The dynamics of my pond have changed somewhat. You remember that tiny little Ginrin Asagi I got from you?
Yeah.
That one has pretty much hid off at back in plants, waiting for the odd little pellet that you can see sinking, and it's shot out and he's got one. Up there now in the mix with the big ones, feeding with them all. The Yamatanishki was a little bit standoffish and shy, and also the same with, basically the new fish that I've introduced. We're all a little bit, but that Yamabuki's gone, and they are up now in the mix of it all. They're up there for the mealworms, and I never seen them coming up for mealworms because obviously it's a little bit more aggressive feeding because they enjoy them a little bit more than the pellet. But they are straight up on it now, something rotten. Has anybody else ever noticed that when you've had a particular fish go out of the mix, that everything changes in the ponds? Let me know, guys, because
I have to be honest. I had a big chag. He was a bully. He'd get to the food first, and he'd ram the other fish to get them out of the way. And particularly the smallest fish in the pond, were really shy. They never go looking. But as soon as he went, then things changed. And the smaller fish started on loads of growth.
Yeah, well, I can definitely see that this week. I mean, I know might just be in my head, but my Yamatanishki looks like it's growing. It looks like it's starting to fill out. It looks like it's starting to get. And the Mark Gardner, that's right, isn't it? The one, what was it? Kikasui. The Kikasui. It was looking a little lean, but now it's definitely looking like that is starting to fill out, and I'm pretty sure that I might have actually started to get some growth on them. Yeah, I know the temperatures have grown up and they've started obviously getting a bit more warmer, and you start getting your feed being a lot more interested in feeding. But it's proper change. It's proper change the dynamics of the pond. But I need to get a new
fucking melon. It's almost as bad as Ricky's.
Yeah, you guys.
You get a hierarchy in the pond with fish, though.
Yeah, pecking order in a sense, because he was the tag has always been number one up, always been. But then I would say probably the Yamabuki, followed by the Kaku and the bigger fish generally, in that some kind of order. The only one that's ever been any different, and as soon as the chag's been on the food or the Yama, was the Asagi that I got from Udas. That thing. He ain't bothered who's there. He's going for food, and everybody can get out of his way. He'll pile in for it. And once he's got his good, maybe 7 or 8 pieces, and he'll bob down.
He was raised on trifle, though, Gaz.
Oh yeah, well,
got a sweet tooth.
Sorry, my watch is dictating what I'm saying. Go away.
It definitely makes a difference. We used to have customers years ago. Used to keep like Golden Orth and Tench and stuff in the ponds, and that freaks the koi out big time because they come up, snatch food, and they sort of when they take food, they spook, and then the koi just spook with them, thinking what's going on, and before you know it, you can't get a good feeding situation. So and that's probably what the Yamabuki was doing. It was flighty.
Yeah, it was flat. It was. Yeah, he was. When you ever see a bird flies over your pond, and they all go, "Oh shit!" He was always first one to do that. And as soon as he hit that water and shot off that bit, everything, boom, straight under lilies, and they'd all behind it. He was definitely the flighty fish in the pond, and it's made a massive difference him not being there. So now I need to I can't. The pond doesn't look right not having yellow in.
Crash your guy.
Well,
Yeah.
I've got one from you, and we just need it to grow, but it's not going to be all that
It
yellow,
was
is it?
a diddler. You need to get a big one.
What do you need?
Surrey has got plenty of them.
A what?
Kilt Surrey.
Surrey. Oh, well, yeah. Crash your guy. Well, I bought a tiddler because I enjoy watching them grow, Rick.
What about a Deutsch Keykin Matsuba from Ricky? Because they were absolutely stunning.
They're nice.
Oh, they are nice, yeah.
They are nice.
Yeah.
I've got to admit,
I've got to get one of them.
I do like
Yeah.
them.
I like the yellow and the orange version.
Well, you mean you can
I've
buy
got two. One in my pond and one in Mars pond. Because she took a fucking platinum ogon from here and it's turned Deutsch Key Matsuba.
Yeah, I remember you saying last season, it was platinum, wasn't it, when it went?
Yeah, it was pure white when it went in, and that was from the fry that I had from Ricky 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to get blamed for all sorts, aren't I?
Oh, I'll have to have a
Mind
look
you,
at it when we get down there next week.
I did have the Hariraki out today because I've been doing the fucking scrapes all fucking day. But yeah, the Hariraki is well, it's not lemon anymore, is it? But that's 2 years old this month, and it's 47 centimeters.
Wow.
And that's from his fry.
Yeah.
Well, the one, right, Adam Bayer one that you got, the whatever it is, whether it be an Achiba or whether it be a Kumonru, that this summer is Tosai, isn't it?
What have you got?
Yeah, it's Nisai, isn't it? It's 2 years this year.
No, 3 years this year.
3 years this year. Is it?
Yeah, got me.
I did that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it off you. No, I got it off you last year. And you got it as fry that year.
No, I'd got that as fry the year before. What you got was Tosai going into Nisai.
Ah, right. I was just going to say that one's. What I can't remember. I can't remember.
But look at that video I sent you the other day.
Yeah, I'll have a look on the date of that one and see what it was.
You want to show Ricky because he's seen the after, show him before because that is absolutely crazy.
I'll bring it up. Which one was it? What did I
Yeah, it's not been very happy in this household today.
37.
Well, I came down this morning to find Susan's kahaku on the bottom of the pond head.
Oh.
Swimming about, eating, feeding, and everything else yesterday. Gone.
Bloody hell.
And the only thing I've found on the scrapes today, I've done about 4 or 5 fish, and all I've found is fucking flukes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it had a lot of flukes, it wouldn't have been feeding yesterday and looking happy, would it?
No,
but that's what I mean. This is why I'm so fucking. It's doing my head in, Ricky. Because yesterday, I mean, it was up feeding with everything else. It's not been showing any fucking signs of upset or anything else.
Could it be the temperatures or the air pressure that's been a bit wild lately?
And it just goes back to what I say. It's either the most expensive in the pond, the best, or your favourite. And it just turned out to be the most expensive fucking fish we caught.
Yeah.
That's the significance. But
It's
the kick in the balls is not knowing why.
Yeah.
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 If you've got reason, you can.
The Sancho is looking miles better.
Yeah. Yeah, Gaz was saying he squeezed some blood out of it. What was it, like a blood blister?
Yeah, well, it's gone right down now, and all I've got is an area that I've got to do a little bit of cleanup on. But the day, not yesterday, the day before, when I put her in the Tosai tank, when I had her in the bowl and I was inspecting her, she actually had a couple of scales just pop out. I don't know whether it's a combination of that and going into the salt has drawn whatever was in there out, because to me it looked like there was something internal going on.
Yeah, it looked a bit like dropsy to me at first. I thought, oh crap.
Yeah, but it was only on that. It was only on that one side though.
Yeah.
The other side's absolutely fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Before you got to the point of losing scales, mate, you should have drained it. You should have still stuck just a little syringe below, underneath scales, just below the surface of skin, drained out whatever in there, and then you wouldn't have been left with as much scarring. And hopefully you wouldn't have lost as much. But I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing, mate. But
oh yes, and Gaz, two biggest fears: dentists, hypodermic needles. So yeah, sticking a needle in it is not going to be very detrimental, is it?
Well, maybe you could have asked him to come in. You could have asked Rocket Boy to come over and done some delicate surgery.
To be fair, you were describing it as a hard lump, so it sounded much more like a tumour than fluid. But
yeah, that's
crossed, mate. That could be the silver lining, couldn't it?
Yeah.
You save that one, but that's why you love the hobby, because it's not easy. Things go wrong. You win some, you lose some.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it just goes to prove how unpredictable fucking livestock is.
Yeah, and you always learn every day.
And anybody can have it happen to them, can't they? Even I mean, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but the vast majority of our fish here, maybe not Rick's, but me, Daz, and you, they're not mega bucks, are they? Do you know what I mean? But to us, there's still a sickener when you lose one. Imagine what it must be like for someone that bought a 16, 17 grand fish and they've had it for 4, 5, 6 years and it's won so many shows, and they get up one morning and they walk out and it's on bottom of the pond or it's bellied up floating on top. You'd be devastated, wouldn't you? I would be anyway. I'd be absolutely gutted. Not necessarily because of the cash value, but for what you've put into it and what you've got from it and what you've done with that pond and have it and kept it for that long. I think it's more that kick in the balls that hurts more than all, because you try to give them everything, you do everything by the book all the time, yet you can still get up in the morning and it just happens random.
Yep. And it's
It's just how it goes, isn't it? Like I said, the male Kahaku we were going to use last week, literally just out of the blue, bang, dead. Literally the day before we're going to move it in, it's been mint. It's an old fish, but it's done. It's good, still a good fish.
Yeah.
And we hadn't even tried to move it, and it's like died the day before. It's like you couldn't make it up, but that's just how it goes. You have backups in place, and you crack on, don't you? Yeah. You can't sit.
Everything has a limited number of heartbeats, and at some point it stops, and it's something that happens to us all. Unfortunately, it's circle of life, isn't it? It's how it is, the way it goes.
I don't know about you, Ricky, but it always makes it a bit easier if you've got some offspring of them. You think, well, okay, parent fish is gone, but I've still got its offspring.
A little bit, but
if I've got something to carry on from it, then I'm still happy. I'm never cut up about losing a fish.
Never managed to get that far with this one.
No.
And it is the one that I'll try to whisper it. I don't want to. It is that one, isn't it? The one that you selected. Oh, bollocks, man.
Yeah. You can say that about all of them to some degree, didn't you? Every fish you buy, you kind of buy for a reason, and when it dies, you think, I bought it for that reason.
Yeah, but this one was one particular one that Susan picked for a reason, and then they picked it up slightly later, and it were a case of it was kept on for a little bit, and then they brought it back.
Yep.
It's too many mealworms. That's what it was.
Right.
Look, if you can make a little bit of a joke out of it.
That's like me saying, well, it was the munger mix I fed her the night before.
Could have been.
Beetroot. Maybe she's allergic to beetroot.
Too much curry powder.
And everything else. Right, well, well, in fact, what we will do is I'll go through a couple more. I don't know where the hell I even got to. Life around the koi pond was the last one. Mr. Telford Koi Pond, Phil. Evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Thanks for joining us again, mate. Keith Smith says evening all. Simon Shears. How's everyone coping with this glorious English weather? I'm loving it, man. Absolutely.
It's going to be grey.
Well, I heard you lot mentioning Glastonbury. That's why I was late, because the son's at Glastonbury breaking his concert and his festival cherry with his boss. But yeah, he phoned Susan on my phone.
Sweet. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's, you can't not take that one if he's there on the first one. When did it start? Was it Thursday? Is it today the first day, or is it?
Yeah,
He's been there since Monday.
Some of the bands Thursday, yeah. We used to go on a Wednesday morning.
I've
You
never
used to go, do you, Ricky?
Yeah, we've been loads of times, but you can't get tickets anymore. Absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
We used to go on a Wednesday morning and come home on a Monday. It's almost a full week.
The only reason that he's managed to get a ticket is he's actually helping out. His boss does something with push bikes and stuff there, and yeah, he's managed to get in through doing that. So yeah, lucky bastard is all I can say.
Something I've never done and something I've never been to. I've never been to a concert.
No,
I've never been to a live concert. Never.
Oh, yeah.
And do you know why? What? Do you know why? Because I think most of them sound naffle like what they actually sound like.
oh, bro, no way.
They sound
I did want to go to Beautiful South when they were performing at McAlpine Stadium, but I couldn't get a ticket. So I had the very next best thing, because we were literally across road from them. So we just planned. We got forklift truck to put us on top of the building roof, and we watched it from up there. We didn't get to see it live, but we got the atmosphere, as I said. But I've never ever done it. Never ever been.
You got, honestly, mate, it's amazing. Amazing.
Well, I know everybody's always said, and both me and my wife have always said we'd like to go see one. I did want to go see Michael Jackson do his last final performance, but that was that.
My mum managed to get to see him twice, and that's one person I would love to have seen live. I mean, I've seen loads of bands live, but but yeah, he was one that was a pure showman.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why we wanted to. We were hoping to go see the last one, but yeah, that didn't happen. So,
but yeah, Gaz, you've got to get yourself to a concert, bruv.
It's what, Rick?
It's his fault, isn't it? We had tickets for these last shows, all of them, and he went and died.
Yeah.
I say he died. The fucking media killed him, didn't they?
Yeah, it was shocking. But yeah, a live gig, mate. The music's better than it is on CD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The atmosphere and everything there, aren't there? Never done it, but one of these days, maybe I'll get round to one.
I'm glad I got to see Linkin Park before Chester decided to top himself, because
I would like to see Linkin Park.
I took my brother-in-law to that one. It was his first ever concert, and that was at the O2 Arena, and that was phenomenal. And honest to God, they sounded just like they did on the CD, but better.
Yeah. There are some singers out there that do literally sound that good, but I mean.
And another one for me is Rammstein. I mean, just the pyrotechnics. And I'm honestly, Ricky.
Yeah, well,
I took my oldest boy with me, and he actually spent about 2 weeks before the concert going on YouTube watching their videos and stuff to get a feel for the music. But when we finished and we were on our way out, he was like, "That was fucking amazing, Dad." I couldn't understand what they were saying, but that was fucking amazing. Just with the pyrotechnics and everything else that they put into it, just unreal.
I guess that's half the thing, though, isn't it? Thank you, Vicky. I appreciate that. The atmosphere, the live performance, the 5 million people around you all singing their hearts off. Watch Will when he went to his concert singing away like with his videos and recording it.
Got to be done. Get to the front. Love it. Get to the front.
Yeah.
Well, I used to. Not anymore. Yeah, mate.
Simon Shear says, evening all, sitting by the pond watching the GKP living the dream. God damn. Thanks all sorts, mate. Sitting by the pond. Cool. Yeah, I don't think this is a dream.
We must be the dream team then.
Thank you.
What more can I say?
Good evening, Gaz, Daz, and everyone else. Fluke's here 8 days and getting ready to put another dose in at the weekend. God damn, you've gone too. There's been a lot of parasites again, haven't there?
Yeah.
But then I didn't have hardly any problems last year or the year before, and now I'm having the odd fucking issue. And it's like Ricky said, it's the hobby. You know, you've got to take the rough with the smooth. If not, you might as well pack the fucking hobby in.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we all do me a huge favor? This is just for DT Koi. Can we all tell him what it is, the 3 things that you look first for in a koi?
In a what?
The 3 first things you look for in a koi. The 3 main
curry. What a compliment.
No,
Body shape.
You got curry on the brain, boy.
Body shape, skin quality, and pattern.
What do you reckon, Vince?
Yeah, I can't say much more than that.
Rick?
100% body shape, skin quality, nothing to do with pattern for me. Because if you see a fish that's got the bone structure, the body shape, the skin quality, the pattern's kind of lost to the wind. You know, as long as it's got, it's hard to describe what you're looking for. And pattern is, I'm a non-pattern believer.
You're a non-pattern believer. You're a single-coloured fish.
The video I sent you the other day, that little one, thoughts on that?
It's got a lot of interest about it, isn't it? But the fact that the pattern on that's going to be no good at all, is it? It's got a solid head pattern. So for most people, it's a write-off. But it's interesting the fact that the shape, the quality of the fish, everything about it's looking really good. But if you're looking at it from a pattern point of view, it's got a massive solid head pattern. So that's kind of, for most people, it's a write-off.
But you just said that pattern don't matter.
Yeah, for most people, it's a write-off. For me and Vince, it's fine.
Yeah. So really, I mean, when you say body and bone structure, I mean, technically that's part of the body, isn't it? So it's not.
They're
2 different things.
Different. They are totally. The structure of a fish is different to the. Oh, it's hard one. It's quite an hard one.
How can your bone structure not be part of your body?
Because you can change your body shape. Your wife. Think of your wife, say, right? You cannot change her bone structure, can you? But you can change your body.
Nick, you're real brave, mate. That's all I can say. You're real brave. I'm saying nothing.
That's his wife.
So
your bone structure, you can't change your bone structure.
Yeah, your bone structure determines as to what you're going to be with. Yeah.
But you can change the body shape on the bone structure.
Yeah,
I go with it. Yeah.
So that's a different thing, and the skin quality is another different thing, and they're all so much more important than like the.
But sometimes you can't see the bone structure because of the body.
Sorry, have they eaten too many trifles? That's
I reckon we should start calling him JCB.
It's the graph that he does fruit weight, mate. That's how he burns it off, or otherwise it'd be like a bus end.
I'll tell you what, the way he eats that trifle reminds me of Squaddies. He's literally get it in.
Just fuel, isn't it? Fill the tank, go.
Exactly. Before anyone else can eat it.
Yeah, for me, pattern is almost, it's not irrelevant, but it's just the final touch, isn't it? Because if you haven't got everything else,
if you haven't got the good skin quality or the good body, the good skin, and like you said, bone structure, then the fish is crap anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
If its pattern's beautiful, it's like Daz was saying, we were pulling out some culls of a day, and they got some really good patterns, but the bodies were bent all over the place, and you were like, damn, look at the pattern on that already, and we're thinking it's a cull because it's bent like it's shaped like an S.
We had one that was like an S, but we had a few where the tail curls up at the end. You probably get that.
I had a few of them in the past.
Yeah.
Water quality and nutrition.
Sorry?
Water quality and nutrition.
Yeah.
That's what's done that.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
Well, no, I only had about 4 that were like that. It was very, very low, the amount of defects. But that was one of the main defects. We only had one squiggly one and 4 with a tail that curled up. At first, it looked like they'd been chomped off by a tow bin.
It did.
They're trying really hard to swim and they're going nowhere.
Yeah.
But then when you net them out, you realise they have got a tail, but it's just like a periscope.
We created a rig 2 weeks ago, and they were about 15 mil, 1.5 cm. He's just showing us yesterday evening, they're over 2 inch.
Yeah, once you thin them down and then push them on, they just fly.
Yeah.
But they've got in the tunnel now, so they're really flying in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Making a massive difference having that much live food. So, I mean, they've gone from just being on live, now they're taking a mini pellet. Which is
live food.
Bloody Daphne is going down fast.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, Daz. The way that the chuffing growing, I'm not surprised. I could not believe that. That's more growth. That's like a cm a week.
Yeah.
That's what you should be. That's
what
your target.
you're looking for, though, isn't it, Ricky?
Yeah. That's your target through the whole summer.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But
it is, especially to start with, because they go from 1 centimetre and double in size to the double. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, in just 2 weeks. It's not even 2 weeks yet, is it? This Saturday will be 2 weeks. So, and they've literally gone from that to that. Well, 2 inch. A man's 2 inch. Gone from that to that.
The problem is when you see it happen, you then realise that should happen to all of them, and you're thinking, well, how can I make that happen to all 50,000 rather than just a few I put over there? And that's the fight. That's the battle.
Numbers, though, isn't it? Then that's a numbers thing, isn't it? You need to reduce the numbers so that they've all got more food, less competition, and more of a fighting chance to get there for it.
The problem is they take all the food out of the pond. So by the time you thin them down, if you put them back in the same pond, they've annihilated it. So to get the best out of them, you need to put them in a new pond.
Yeah.
That means through the summer you need 5 ponds for each batch of fish. Yeah. And it just doesn't work. Yeah. But
apparently, Daz, it's nice to see Daz again. Where have you been, mate? He's never had an even come.
I must have been on holiday.
Show, mate, because he's been here every week. More. Yeah. Lisa Leach says, evening all with a thumbs up.
Evening, Lisa.
She owes me 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Toy Central's got a first question for us. Does anybody use a black version? A black version of K1 or Helix? Need another 50 litres and don't want to pay 80 notes. Surely there's a good copy out there.
You can't beat Helix 13, I'm sorry.
Is that the Oasis one?
Yeah.
I should know, really, because I don't know what they're all called.
Get some of that LX56 that comes about this. You only need 4 pieces.
Honestly, in my day, you used to get flow core, which was designed, it was quite good. And then someone created these cut-off bits of pipe, like crinkly pipe. and called it flow core, and it was like that became the thing, and it was like just it might as well have been a bit of space.
It was
It
rubbish.
was like it was nothing. It's like
is that the corrugated pipe?
yeah.
Yeah.
Cutting shitloads of it up.
Yeah.
It's absolutely garbage, that stuff, isn't it?
It is.
So-
Yeah.
original flow core was like a tubular piece of pipe, but had designed pieces for it. The whole thing was designed to create a massive surface area. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And that kind of disappeared, and this weird cut-off tubing appeared as flow core, and you could buy a sack for 50 quid or whatever. That was, but it was a sack of nothing, absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Cool. We're at 99 viewers. Thank you very much, folks. I think, in fact, we've actually got 101 watching right now, and I've just dropped back down to 99. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for leaving. But we still hit it. 101. There we go. 101 again. As honestly, mate, I don't know of one, but I would imagine that if you have a good Google out there, you can probably get some from Knockoff Nigel
Or eBay. Yeah.
eBay. Yeah.
To be honest, I wouldn't buy some
second.
there's so much second-hand stuff out there at the minute. You could buy K1 or Helix or whatever, second-hand,
Yeah.
cheap as
Bleach
chips.
it well. Yeah, bleach it well.
Get the right stuff at a cheap price.
Yeah.
Don't buy
To be
quick.
honest, I went and I got
Baling
about
now. Go and get a load of baling twine.
50 litres for about 50 quid second hand. And that's sort of pretty much all my filters out.
50 litres sorts your filters out. Oh, God.
No,
You need some big filters.
150 litres.
All right, lay on.
What are you doing?
Paul Higginson, Coastal Koi, do a good media. Koi Central. There you go, mate. There's one for
Right.
you. Coastal
It was
Koi. Try
10
that.
bin bags full. It's probably more than 150 litres.
Sounds
Are
like
the fish doing Paul?
£50. Sounds like a bargain.
Yeah.
Evening,
Had to
sir.
walk all the way to Leeds for it, but it was worth it.
You live by Leeds, didn't you?
No, nowhere near Leeds.
Not
really
Leeds,
like-
not far away.
Hour and a half.
22 miles from me, does. Oh, look at that. 100, up to 105 views. Thank you very much, folks, for joining us.
He's like me. Anything past the Watford Gap is north.
I've only
right,
just found the Watford Gap's not in London, mate. It's like up in the Midlands.
I'm getting a lot of people here now saying that they've already subscribed. Evening, Gaz and Daz from Birmingham. Gary, evening, bud. Hope you're well, mate.
Gary, you all right, mate?
Come here.
Hopefully, that will have got that gentleman a few more views and a few more subscribers to his channel.
Who's that? Who's the miss?
Lloyd's Koi. Let's see.
You know who that is, don't you?
No,
That's
what I
Adam
said.
Lloyd from the Grind Show group.
Oh, sweet. Well, you're up to 27 subscribers now, mate, from 19. So you've had a little lift there, bud. Get some more content out, mate, and hopefully your channel will do a bit more growing.
Gaz, can I put something in quick?
Yeah, of course you can.
Why don't you just tell YouTube you're starting at 6:30? Because then YouTube will put it advertised you're starting at 7:30.
Yeah, but then when everybody comes here and I'm not there for another hour, they'll all be sat there going, God, it's real.
You won't be, because YouTube's an hour wrong. If you go on YouTube now, it's saying you start at 8:30.
Everybody's here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, but
But
Go on, Gaz. Gaz is supposed to be the slow one.
if I put my video out and put it out there as a pre for 6:30, for all those people that see it at 6:30 and arrive at 6:30, and I'm not
but it
there.
won't. But YouTube's an hour wrong. So on YouTube, it's telling everyone you'll start at 8:30.
If I look at it now on my channel, on my PC, on YouTube, it says 7:30.
And on mine, it's telling me 8:30.
Everywhere else is saying 8:30. So if you say 6:30, YouTube will say 7:30. So everyone will turn up on time.
But everybody did anyway.
Yeah.
Those that turn up late haven't got here yet.
Oh God!
How many beers in are you, Ricky?
I'm on a few, mate. That's my night of beer, mate. No spawning tomorrow.
Well, be rude not to enjoy yourself, mate, wouldn't it? It's Thursday night, after all.
Yes, the question is, will you ever get that Sankey to spawn?
Next week? No, week after. Yeah. I will.
Yeah, Ricky, clippers in a mirror.
Oh, I've got clippers and a mirror. I've tried it, mate. It's so hard when you get to the back.
Yeah.
Sharpie's Guy says, always going to the National and on what day?
Sunday.
Sunday? You're going Sunday?
Sunday.
Yeah. Can we go Sunday, Gaz?
I'm going Sunday.
We're going Sunday, Dad.
Yeah.
I guess we need to go Sunday so Dad can go Sunday. Yeah, we're going Sunday, apparently.
Cool.
Okay, I'll take it.
I thought you
I'll take you guys to Fishy on Saturday.
Say that again.
I thought he was having a birthday surprise. He couldn't go.
I go to
No,
Cotswolds on
the
Saturday.
surprise is that he's going on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. I have permission.
Yeah, it's all go Sunday.
Officially stamped.
So Sunday then, right? Sunday. We will be there Sunday, and we've got Will will be there on Sunday. Good man.
Even better.
Will.
Forgot to send you a message. Box arrived earlier. Absolutely sweet. Thank you.
Was that Will?
Yeah.
And Fenland, we're off.
Yeah, we're all off Sunday. By the sound of us, a few will be going. So Sunday. Coy Central going Saturday, but now he's changing it to Sunday.
Go on, Dave.
Come on, Mark. You need to get it changed to Sunday. We'll see you there Sunday. Unless you're going both days.
Oh, Mark, sorry, yeah. Who's Dave?
Matt.
Matt. Too many YouTubers.
When is the pond, Gaz? Looking forward for that one. Man, that was hard work to read.
Yeah, when is the pond, Gaz?
I think if we break that down, that is, when is the pond getting done, Gaz? Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that's what I got from that.
I didn't.
When I do it, man. And honestly, it's when I can get all these lot to commit to a weekend and say, we're coming up.
Yeah, anytime.
Not going to
It's
happen.
sunny now. They're going it's not going to happen. But you should have a look. He's going to bring his caveman spear. Say again, Daz?
Mud ponds. What's all this nonsense about mud ponds?
I'm trying to get the public to encourage it. Even your mum said to do it.
I'm going to turn up one day at my mum's and there's going to be a bloody digger down the garden digging holes.
See, right. His mum said, dig it, make it into four mud ponds. And Daz is saying,
I didn't get that memo.
didn't you? Oh, I'll have a word with her next time I see him.
I thought you would have been in like Flynn on that one, boy.
Ideally, though, Daz, if you do go for it, as you know, when you retire, if you do go for it, I mean that.
It would be pretty cool.
It would be pretty cool. And everything that you dig out would just make a bear all the way around.
Yeah.
All four of them. And then
I'll have a beer.
line it out.
That's what
Job done.
I'd love to do it, then naturalise it with trees round and transport with yellow irises and stuff. It could make it
On
really
every corner, 4 fishing pegs.
Yeah. No, up the deck down the middle, right down the middle of it all, and then opening out into like a big deck area, balustrading round it, so you can sit there and have your morning coffee and feed the fish.
You can see that he's thought about it, but he didn't get the memo. But yeah, honestly, Tokyo One, as and when I can get these lot together, I'll pass them all a shovel. So that's when, mate, ask the GKP group and see what they said, because I just need The thing is, I need to
Yes,
take
but
the
mate.
fence down and replace the fence post, and then once I've got that done, then I'm ready to go because I want to make the fence post so that I can put that right before it collapses on someone because it's
That's
getting
what
worse.
we've all been waiting for, Gaz, for you to do the fence.
Yeah.
You're holding us
Do
back.
you know what the problem is, Daz? My cordless drill is goosed, so I need a decent cordless drill. So
Bloody
I'm
hell.
gonna have to. No, seriously, my batteries are dead. They'll put like 6 screws in, and it's done. So it's time I had an upgrade and bought a new one.
Get one of those cordless that plug in with the wire. They go for ages.
Yeah, they're good for ages, but they tend to smash the shit out of your drill bits because they don't have a chuck on them, so you can't slow them down. So, and then all my screws will be ruined, and then all my fencing will be
Snap all the
replaced.
screws.
And that's the last thing I want to do because that's a lot of screws, a lot of wood, and a lot of replacement. And it will be from what would be just a replacement fence post will end up being a 600 quid fence to rebuild.
I'll bring you
Talking
milk-
about
milk
replacements,
gas.
have you had any news on the old roof yet?
Don't go there.
I can see it dripping behind him.
Honestly, do you want to know? Right? We've
You
been
don't wanna
dicked
know.
about so long that I put a counter claim in against him now and claiming off my own house insurance, or otherwise I'm not going to get it fucking done. So that's where we are. That's what we're up to. I've now had to pay for it out of my own ass pocket.
That from a northerner.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know.
And then hopefully, yeah, guy's a prick. But
You might get
that's what
glass
you
roof
get-
though.
That's what you get for being a nice guy and doing somebody a favour, and then getting the looks from the neighbours as they look down his nose at us like we're the piece of shit that did what we did. You
You had to ask, didn't you, Vince?
Yeah.
Let's just say it's a touchy subject, Vince, and it's not good, but it is what it is, isn't it? Shit happens. If it wasn't for bad luck, I would have no luck at all. So,
Yeah, I know that one. Mhm.
Joe, look at the friends you got.
Yeah.
that is, I mean, yeah. That's it.
All right, get out of that one.
I can't deny that one, mate. I have got a good circle of friends, and I've got a family around me as well, and it's ever more growing. So, and I can't grumble about any of them. Well, things could be a lot worse, I suppose.
Yeah. You could live in the south.
Hey,
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's that as well. Could be living down south. That would really put shits on.
no need for that, Munchkin.
Be too hot for him. He'd melt.
I would.
Here's a
I
milk.
would. Let's have a quick question. Oh, get rid of that one. Let's go on to this one for you, Vince.
You've done a few weeks.
Becky says, "Hi, I would like to ask Vince when he will be doing the tour of New Forest Ponds and the entries, info, etc. Love seeing the videos from the last time and would love to attend."
No pressure, Ricky.
That all depends on. I'll get it right in a minute. This one.
Covering your
Yeah,
bases.
this one.
there.
I'll get it there. All boils down to this one here, and
Let's just chuck it out there. First Saturday in October. Well, October's quite late. Hang on. Let's not chuck it out there that quick. Let's go rewind a bit. Last Saturday in September.
Last Saturday in September.
Yeah, why not? I don't know. That's probably good, isn't it? I know I'm not in France then.
And what's going to be? What's the details? I'm sure that said something. And what's the
Saturday the 30th.
What's the info, etc. There you go.
That would be one day of free, spreading the playing field a bit, where we can have a little wander around. Limited to 10 people a time, Vince. 10.
You know why he's saying that? Because the little event that was there for last time was supposed to be a certain amount of people. Slightly grew and grew.
Escalated.
Yeah. It was a good day though. It was brilliant.
It was.
a
I think it's
fucking
about
awesome
30
day.
turned up in the end.
Yeah, but maybe do one early September, one late September, one a Sunday, one a Saturday, and the third one will be another date. I've not made
that.
So you're gonna
Well,
do like,
if you do it that way, then Ricky, we could do one for YouTubers and one for subscribers.
Well, just one that can make Saturdays and one that can make Sundays would be better, wouldn't
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there is that.
it? Just I don't know.
he's on the ball tonight, isn't he? Huh? Start the show at 6:30. How about a day event that people can make it one day and a day event that people can make it next day?
That makes sense. Yeah. All right.
There you go. There you
We'll
go,
get our
Becky.
heads together and we'll sort something out.
Yeah.
Second week of September and what did I say? Last week of September.
So now there's 4 days.
Actually, 2.
Second week in September and last week in September.
Yeah. Just one. No, just one at a time.
Just one
How
at a
many
time.
beers did you say you did?
I'm about on my 4th, mate. It's been a long week.
Right, so you're just doing it for
Second
the
week of September.
Either the Saturday or the Sunday on the first one, and then the Saturday and the Sunday on the second visit.
No, I didn't say that.
You're confusing it now, guys. You're going to tip him over the edge.
If it's a Saturday in the first one, it'd be the Sunday in the other one. So the people that can't do Saturdays can do Sundays. And then we'll have an exclusive one for another time. So there'll be 3 dates. Notice I'm not doing any fingers at anyone.
So 3 days, but we're gonna
Two will be for the general people, and one will be for the special people.
Oh my God. Plenty of them.
How do you get to be a special person?
You're right.
What?
Sunshine Boss springs to mind.
Right.
What? Are you going to be special with your finger and your pen pointing up? Yes. Awesome. There you go.
So if we tie in the first one up with a YouTuber's choice, we can harvest those fish, can't we? That would be something.
Oh, yes.
Those Kajaku, Goshki things. Amazing creatures that are going to be worth loads.
Hey, they were looking fucking wicked Monday.
It's amazing. They might, yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. What's
your thoughts so far on them, Rick? What do you think? Are you liking what you're seeing?
Yeah, they're grown. I mean, to be fair, they're probably 5 centimeters average size of the ones I'm pushing on. So they're doing the centimetre a week almost. Not quite, but yeah. Some of them looking good.
So what about body's good? Yeah.
Yeah, shape. Yeah, they're looking shape, the bone structure, the body shape,
And
the luster is amazing. They're all plain brown.
No pattern.
That's an old chance. Oh dear.
They're looking good. To be fair, they're looking strong. They'll grow big. They look interesting. I'm not going to say they're going to win shows, but they will be a talking point in your pond.
Will they be 90 centimetres big? Oh, wow.
90 centimetres? No. They've got Goshki in them. Jesus.
Yeah, why is Goshki so slow grower? They're a slow grower, aren't they? And I've got another question for you as well. And Vince, you've touched on this before. Why is Ginrin, a Ginrin fish, a slower grower?
It's not anymore, to be fair. It kind of was. But if you imagine you do a spawn on a fish and the Ginrin generally slows the growth down, but you pick a Ginrin as your parent because that's what you want, you're picking a slower growing fish than the average, and you kind of retard the growth, and that's kind of what's happened for years. But it's not the case anymore with breeders like Dietary and Momentera. They are picking
yellow
one fish
monkey.
out of a million. It does grow like a wildfire. It's got the bone structure and its gin ring that they then use as a parent, and have created fish that are gin ring and whatever that grow huge. It's generally the more things you put into it. A single colour fish generally will grow fastest, and then if you put another colour in or another with Goshki 4 colours in, you're kind of, and if you're picking the one with floating benny and all the different attributes you want, your gene pool shrinks to the smallest, prettiest one, and that's where the problem
doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a fastest growing one or a big growing one.
So, yeah, unfortunately, we've only ever had one.
Principle with a Deutsch then as well.
Huh?
Same principle with a Deutsch fish as well, then scaleless.
To a point, yeah, because they tend to put all their mass into volume, not length.
Ah, right,
Yeah.
So they're more stick like your traditional.
Well, you think of a mirror carp, isn't it? You go fishing, you got a 60-pounder. It's only 2 foot long.
Yeah, but it's built like a brick shit house.
Yeah. So, but when you start choosing genetics for a different reason, so you got to imagine 100 years ago or 50 years ago in Nagata, they're picking those fish that are showing the prettiest attribute. I don't know what's going on.
I said, what was it like back then? And you just went.
100 years ago, that's good. I didn't have to build my own spears. But that's what you did. So you picked the prettiest fish that had those attributes, but unfortunately the fish got smaller.
Yeah.
To create those, and then now the breeding, the understanding of what you're doing, and is creating these. Now you get the farms that can produce Ginrin Kahakus that grow to 1 meter long, and that is just something that is so far obscene from 20 years ago, and that just comes from selective breeding, being able to pick the one fish that's got the bone structure, the growth that also carries the Ginrin gene and everything else. Yeah. It's we're nowhere near. If we can pick a pretty fish or a Goshki that grows to 50, 60 centimeters, looks good. That's good for us. We ain't.
Yeah.
It's still a good fish, isn't it? It's still a nice fish, isn't it? A good size. It's not. It ain't no small fish.
Most people haven't got room for fish bigger than that anyway in the ponds.
No, it's the jumbo, and there is a reason for it. They do grow faster, but yeah, for generally the jumbo type parents we use, you can reduce your pretty offspring tenfold. So you got 10 times less fish to sell. Yes, they might grow bigger, but actually, like you say, for our kind of business, that doesn't really help anyone. So you just got 10 times less fish you can sell, and that's kind of a bit of an issue. And it is for all farms. You've got farms in Japan literally produce fish for export. They're not producing fish for their own market. They might produce fish for the Asian market. They might produce fish for the European market. You know, you've got to do kind of, it's a business thing, isn't it? You've got to do what you can sell and sell for reasonable money, be it butterfly koi, be it aragoki, be it Ginrins, whatever.
Yeah.
So I've hit the nail on the head. Cheers.
With the win some, lose some, but it's what we do. It's to learn from it. Evening, gents. Just on the way home. P.S. Man, yeah, I got the message, mate. Cheers, bud. Attack with his Tancho entry. Nice one. Budget pond keeper, Gaz. The question I posted seems very relevant to this chat. Which, let's go to that one.
Where is it, Gaz?
It's here. It's right here. With all the people having issues this year, my question is, do you think, question is to the panel, do you think there's something going on around us undetected that's causing all these problems? Have any breeders, etc., suffered from big problems this year? Just seems nearly every video includes a sick or dying koi. Quite upsetting to watch some of the videos. I think, mate, for me on that one, I think all of us at some point lose a koi. And when we're out there as YouTubers, mate, we either do one or two things. We keep his mouth shut, and then everybody thinks, where's that fish gone? And when you get increased in temperatures and you get problems in your ponds, you get parasites in your ponds, it's inevitable that even a YouTuber is going to lose one because it's the nature of the beast. It's just coincidental that you start seeing them all around the right time and the same time, because these changes in the temperature from winter through to spring, parasites become more active, filtration start to kick in, problems start to happen in your pond, and that's the time when we lose them. It's one of them things.
It doesn't matter whether you've been in the hobby 5 minutes or 50 fucking years, you know. Sometimes you come out and something's happened and you just can't explain it. And that's the nature of the beast.
I think if it was something industry related, then we'd have all heard about it, because that wouldn't have been something that would have been kept quiet. We'd have known, you know, I'm not saying something, but I don't know. Maybe
in the big koi farms once it goes.
Well, you'd have thought that if shit hit the fan in Japan, we'd have heard about it.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah, I think
the problem is it's recorded to the point now that 2 years ago, in the last 2 years, the whole thing's changed, isn't it? 2 years ago, there was literally on YouTube. How many people are on YouTube showing their fish 2 years ago? It wasn't a lot. And now there's 200 channels in this country or whatever showing their fish. Yeah. And a lot of those people, I'm not being funny, a lot of those people are new to the hobby.
Yep.
And they're all kind of making similar mistakes in some way or another, introducing fish to their ponds without quarantine, buying fish, you know, and we're now seeing the outcome of that. Whereas the people that have been in the hobby perhaps a lot longer, I know you have, Vince, but you're someone that is messing about a fish all the time. But there's a lot of people that buy fish, have got a pond full of fish, and don't introduce fish to their pond for 10 years at a time. They're not on YouTube showing that pond of fish that they've had for 20 years. It's the people that are building ponds and introducing fish, and here's my new fish, and here's my ground show fish, and here's and they're the people when I haven't got quarantine, so I'm just going. And we're now seeing that exactly what we're seeing, the reality of new ponds, fish being introduced from Japan, from Poland, from England, from everywhere. It's the reality of it. If you mix stock from different places,
at some point it's going to bite you on the ass.
You've got to be aware of the outcome. And to be fair, it's not just that. You've also got people that have got microscopes. In the last few years, that's become a thing. People never used to, they had a dead fish, they went and got a treatment, whatever, they didn't know what they were doing. Now they take a scrape, they see a fluke or whatever, and it's on YouTube, or I've got a dirty filter, I've got bacterial problems, and suddenly it's everywhere. But in reality, it's no different to what it was. It's just been shown to everyone. And
more publicly now.
Yeah, it's more broadcasted, isn't it? Whereas before it were a lot more quiet. I mean, you might have been able to find out all this information on, what do they call them, forums and such. And there is a lot of forums, and a lot of it were done just, via text, via people just having a conversation. Yeah. This is what's going on. This is what I'm having. What do you think? What's your take on this? Whereas now that forum has moved to social media. Social media is pushing it on your screen instead. Yeah, so you're seeing it in a different aspect.
You get the visual impact of it as well, don't you?
Yeah, then we get to see what people's doing and what people's mistakes. Prime example, me putting fish in, no quarantine, got parasites. Shit happens. I've been lucky. That's just what it is. I do think it was parasites that did in the Yamabuki. But again, you always have that one fish that's weaker than the other. And if it's, the unlucky one that they all go for and he succumbed to it, then,
It'd be interesting to see how many, say there's 100 YouTube channels, UK-based at present. How many of those people have started their koi ponds in the last, 2 years? probably the majority of them. So they're all basically kind of new koi keepers that are expressing themselves on YouTube. And you've got another 50,000 koi keepers out there that have had koi ponds for donkey's years that aren't on YouTube, that kind of watch this stuff, but have done their thing or whatever. So you're kind of seeing the best and the worst of it. You're seeing the mistakes. You're seeing the amazing pond builds. You're seeing the new fish. You're seeing the enjoyment. You're seeing the heartache when you put a fish in there that actually destroys all your others. And with hindsight, you wouldn't have done that. And that's just the way the world's gone. Social media's made it. Boom.
Yeah.
It's
in your face. It's there. And
you could type in YouTube koi disease or whatever and have just the most horrendous viewing, couldn't you? It's there.
Yeah.
And you could learn from that.
At the same time,
it's everything.
There's not enough people out there actually showing the bad along with the good. All you're seeing
I think there is. It's not.
I think there is.
Quite a lot of people saying
No, there is a lot out there that have had issues, and our YouTubers have not said a peep. And I know that for a fact there's a few out there that have had issues, not said a peep on their channel, but then they'll come back.
What you're saying, what you're saying is different, Vince. You're saying is kind of pointing the finger somewhere.
No.
I get what you're saying, and it kind of should, but it's not that experience in what they're doing, and they've had an issue, and it might be the dealer's fault, but it might be their fault. You've got to be very careful about doing that. So,
but we've got another question that kind of like ticks onto this one. So I mean, I might as well put it to you because it's pretty much what you're talking about. Should sellers be made accountable for selling unhealthy koi that cause tragic consequences to hobbyists due to more and more hobbyists that are having the problem and no one's being held accountable for? See, that's, to me,
that's a yes and no in it. Every dealer would tell you to put the fish in quarantine.
Exactly, and the thing is, it's difficult to answer, but it's not, because at the end of the day, if you quarantine your fish and you put them in a quarantine system, which is what I'm going to be doing, what we all really should be doing, then you would find out if you had those problems with the minimal amount of disturbance to your main stocking.
Yeah.
If you do it the right way and find that you've got those fish with no problems and introduce them and you still have no problems, you cracked it. If you just go, right, there's my new fish, there's my pond, and in it goes. And then all of a sudden you start losing fish, but you've been adding fish from 2 or 3 different sources over the last 4 or 5 weekends. Which one give it you? And how do you turn around and say, it's him, or it's him, or it's them, when you've no way of knowing, because these bacterial infections can lie dormant till such time as the perfect conditions come out. And once they do come out, then the fish are affected by it so quickly, it spreads through the pond that fast. How do you say which fish did it?
That's kind of the issue. There is, yes, dealers should be held accountable to a point, but hobbyists should be dealing with fish, and that this is the whole. It's always been the same area, because, like you say, if someone buys a fish from us, puts them in their pond, they have a problem, and we speak to them, you try and work out what's going on, and 2 hours into the conversation of trying to sort it out, they say, yeah, we were over so and so and put a fish in 2 weeks ago, and that didn't cause a problem, and you're like, what? Hang on. So, but that's livestock.
That's in 2 weeks from 2 different sources, and you're coming knocking on my door.
The issue is if you go to a dealer's and you're happy with their setup, their quarantine procedures, so people also ask us, how do you quarantine your fish? Well, we can't. We don't quarantine our fish because our fish have been on our farm since they were born. We've put them through, they've literally lived there. But when they get moved to a new environment, they will have issues. If they go to a pond of jackfish or we can't do that quarantining on our farm. But if you've got a pond of jackfish and you're going to buy fish from us, then you want to quarantine them and mix them separately and see the outcome together, because it's two totally different stocks of fish. Yeah. You can't legislate for it. So you can point the finger at a dealer for having issues and they polluted my pond with this disease, but you could also, the amount of times that people think they're doing the right thing, but they switch the waterfall off at night, kill their fish, and turn around and say, well, I put your fish in there 2 weeks ago, and now my fish are dead. The only thing I've done is I've done the same as always. I turn my waterfall off at night. Well, it's the hottest day of year. All your fish are dead. That's your fault. That's not a dealer's fault. So you've got to take every single circumstance, every single situation differently. Yes, some dealers could be better than others. Some are there for the long haul. Some are there just to try and make money, and that's your job as if you're buying fish, your livestock. If you're going to go and buy a dog, you go and check out the parents. You go and check out the situation. You do a bit of research into it. You go on the internet. Oh, this company, they've got amazing feedback. They look after their fish. Their fish are always spotless. You got a bit of confidence. You go on the internet for, their fish are horrendous. Don't buy from them. I'm going to go there at the weekend. They're cheap. Chuck it in your pond. Well, that's kind of your fault, isn't it? Because there is no government legislation. There is no law. There is
common sense got to prevail, hasn't it, to a degree?
Yeah. I think everybody's real quick to point the finger. And honestly, guys, this is not me sticking up or standing up for anybody or defending anyone or pointing the finger at anyone. This is a topic that's been brought to us and put on there and asking us opinion. And I mean, you reap what you sow. If you're cautious and you're careful, or if you're like me, you're really fucking lucky, then
it's just chuck them in from anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I have, mate. To be fair, I have. But the vast majority of my first fish came from one source, and that was my local shop. And I've been going there since I was a nipper. All my tropicals came from that one source, and I've been going there for the same fish since a nipper. And then, obviously, when I've gone to some shows and what have you, I've seen some nicer fish, and I've brought them home, and I've introduced them, and I've put them in, and I've been lucky. I've not had no problems. Parasites, yeah. But, I mean, goddamn, how many places wouldn't you get parasites from? It's impossible for every dealer to be parasite-free. I mean, let's be realistic. They can't be 100%.
There isn't.
There's no such thing. There isn't a pond out there that hasn't got parasites in it, whether they be on your fish or not. There will be in your pond. It's
external factors, birds and things. You can't legislate for things like that. Sometimes they just appear.
Sometimes we have good luck and we have good runs and we have,
But the joy of the hobby is buying new fish.
Yeah.
Going out there, getting excited and going, wow, that is just something I've never seen before. But the reality of the hobby is having somewhere to put that, not in your main stock. And deal with it. That is, and to be honest, probably 80% of the kind of people we deal with don't have facilities to do that. So you're dealing with, they bought fish from us for years and there's no issue at all. But when then they go off and buy stuff from elsewhere, you're just chucking in a whole new world of potential issues, which that's kind of the hobby. But the downside of that is you're taking a massive risk, isn't you? You can't.
Yeah, it is.
But that's, I don't know. Shows are amazing. That, to be fair, that you get to see some amazing fish and buy some amazing fish. But the amount of people that get sucked into it and then haven't got facilities at home to keep that fish separate, and they're going to chuck that in their main pond with all their other fish, or whether they go to new dealers or they're off on holiday and they go somewhere, that's a gamble, and you've got to just be cold and hard about it. And most dealers, if you found a fish you really wanted and said, actually, I really want that fish, but I haven't got facilities to take it, can you hold it for a period? A decent dealer would. They'd be like, okay, we'll hold that. You sort out a quarantine or you sort out what you got to do. That's fine. But We're impulsive. Do you see a fish? Oh wow, that's the best fish I've seen. I'm taking that home. Ah, be right. Looks right. Look in your pond.
Yeah.
And it could be from your next door neighbour's pond. They're shutting down. It could be from someone up the road on YouTube. I'm closing down. It's So yeah, dealers have got not a lot to answer for. They should be transparent, and they should be as honest and as approachable as possible. But as koi keepers, you should also have a bit of knowledge. Sense.
Diligence.
Yeah.
Common sense is one of the main ones.
Yeah.
For example, I'll give you an example. For me, if I walk into anywhere and I see one fish or a dead fish, I ain't buying nothing from you. Never again, ever. Not going to buy it. If I walk into your shop and I see a dead fish floating in your pond, in your filter system, I ain't buying shit.
Yeah.
Just not going to happen.
Totally agree.
That's been my method everywhere I've gone. If I've seen a fish that's looked ropey, or I thought, oh my God, I'm not buying a fish. Just because if your filtration system's linked, whatever that fish has got, it's being spread around all them tanks. And that's my motto. If you go with that kind of safe bet, or you know 2 or 3 other people that have used this person as a source and they've stuck with him for year on year on, year in, year out, and they've never had an issue, that speaks volumes. Stick with the people that you know have been good. And I know there are new companies out there, and I know there are new businesses, and they've got to get themselves established. But once they start providing good new stock, and they don't have any problems, and the customers don't have any problems, good word of mouth soon gets about, and they become a reliable source and a place to go because you know they're doing the right thing. So, I mean, I've had new fish from Wakefield Koi. Not a single problem with any of them. Maybe some did come with some parasites. Maybe they didn't. But if they did, I'm prepared to risk parasites. Parasites not really an issue. As far as I'm concerned, I can treat them and get rid of them. But if I was to walk in your shop and see fish with great big ulcers and marks on them, or fish that were floating on the side dead, or
awesome,
it just makes you think, oh, God. I mean, me, Daz, and Mick have been to some places where we walked in and I'm like, shit, man, damn, that fish is hanging. That's rotting inside out. What the hell? I'm literally had a conversation, polite thing, had a quick walk around and straight out, and I'm stood at the doorway. Mick come out and said, "What's up?" I'm done meeting me. I'm having no. Why? Come look at this, and then we all walk out. See you later. Bye. Thanks, but no thanks. Not having no from there. And we have done that in a few places, and we've seen stuff, and we've made us think, God. Thanks, but no thanks.
That's a little bit of knowledge, isn't it? That's your understanding of what fish can look like, do look like.
Yeah.
The stuff you got from Koi, you went and saw months before or whatever, picked your fish and then went and got them. So you kind of got a safety net that not only have they been quarantined before they got there, they've been there, and you kind of know those fish as well. So you're putting that due diligence into the fact that you've got that safety net. You've not just walked into a garden centre and gone, "Oh, I'll have that yellow and white one there."
Yeah.
I don't want the ones that are red on the bottom falling a bit, so I'll have that one swimming around. That do.
Spontaneous buying of fish is not a good idea.
No.
Find your dealer, find the right fish, get what you're looking for. If he's hold it for you till you've got quarantine, go for it.
End of the day, it's the same rules that apply to getting any pet, isn't it?
Yeah,
it should. It doesn't necessarily. It doesn't always apply, does it? Your heart rules your head. You see a fish, you think, "Wow, that's amazing! I want that." And the dealer goes, "Well, it'll be sold tomorrow if you don't buy it now."
Yeah,
off on your bike, son. That's. But
if you've got a quarantine system, there's nothing stops you from making an impulsive buy like that. If you haven't, then
taking a risk.
That's the issue, isn't it? And with hindsight, the people that lose their ponds of fish, you want to blame someone. And you blame yourself, but then you want to point the finger somewhere else. And yes, perhaps you should point the finger somewhere else, but ultimately it's kind of where, should you have done that? Should they have sold you that? Did they sell it with all best interest that fish was fine? And you put it into a situation that's not fine. It's a difficult one. Livestock, we've dealt with it for donkey's years, and you have to take every single case as it comes. And if we supply fish that ain't 100%, then we sort it out. And if people have put fish into a situation that isn't adequate, then we have to explain why they've cooked them or killed them or deoxygenated them or whatever. And yeah, it's a learning curve for everyone, isn't it? You're out there, but still.
Inevitably, though, from time to time, Rick, you're still going to get that, that one customer that comes, buys a fish, does everything right, goes home, gets up in the morning, his fish is dead. It does happen, doesn't it?
Yeah. And at the end of the day, we know that, and we will replace fish if we sell a fish, a sensible, not a 2-inch fish, but a sensible fish, and it dies within 2 weeks. Then, regardless, as long as it hasn't jumped out, we will basically replace it. But we still want to know the situation's gone in, what's going on with the pond, the whole background behind things, just to try and get an idea of what's occurred. Not just so much replacing the fish is a small part of it. It's trying to work out what's occurred. Some fish just die. Realistically, you do sell the old fish that's mint, and 48 hours later they've been chucked in a new pond and it just kills over. Yeah. And that does happen occasionally. And it's not the customer's fault. It's not our fault. It's just livestock, and you deal with that. But when they put a fish,
perfectly healthy fish, no longer perfectly healthy. It does happen, but
it does happen. And at the end of the day, that's just part and parcel. So
I've had it happen here. Up until yesterday, that kahaku was swimming around my pond, absolutely fucking perfect, eating, feeding, doing everything you're supposed to. And I come down this morning and it's on the bottom brown bread. I can't explain it. I truly can't explain it. And I've been doing scrapes all day, and I think I've found 2 flukes.
But the reality is, a fish doesn't die from parasites in that kind of frame. So you're talking about a hemorrhage, something internal, or even something frightening, swimming smack first into a wall. Something stupid like that. You get random stuff that does happen, but yeah, they're like that. That's kind of part and parcel. But the big issue with koi keeping is putting a fish in a pond and killing your 50 fish that are already in there that have been happy for years. That that disease transfer that's the one thing that needs to be cut out, and has got so much better over the years. The stuff from Japan is so much better than it was the stuff being produced in this country and basically everywhere. It's the following of the stock. Everyone knows where stock comes from. It's follow CFAS, follow us. Everything is got like a timeline, a traceability. If you buy a box of fish from us, put it in their pond, and a week later all the fish are dying, then there's an issue, and we need to work out what the issue is. Is it our fish? Is it a problem with the pond? Is CFAS? And that's a good thing, because that is a traceability and an honesty and a recording of what's occurring. 20 years ago, you could go to the airport and there'd be dealers all over the place picking up boxes of fish and being sold literally out the back of the cars from all over the place. That's kind of pretty much non-existent now. It does tend to be, a lot more recorded. People quarantine stuff, people record stuff, people have got YouTube and every other channel and WhatsApp and Telegraph and Telegram and all these. There's a recording of everything that's going on, and if it goes wrong, you can trace that back pretty quickly. So, from my point of view, that's a great thing.
Evening, Crafty.
He's not allowed. His missus said he wasn't allowed on anymore.
Fuck her, mate.
What's the body structure and the bone structure like?
Well, Crafty, you can't change, mate. But I tell you what, she carries on eating them sweets, mate. She's going to be out.
Talking of sweets, we do have a tin full of Haribos.
Oh, mate, I've got a packet of mini cheddars. That's me loving.
You're weird.
ourselves ready with a few of these. Just let them, you can watch me all enjoy. Oh, look at it now. We got beers. We got bacon bites. We got mini cheddars. Vince, what you on? What you got? You got to have something. But yeah, I totally agree with everything you said there, Rick.
Can I just jump in, Gaz?
Yeah, feel free.
Right. You know, the question around the dealer issue. You're totally right there. What you've got to understand is that if dealers are doing what they should be doing against their pet shop license, they should be doing water checks 3 times a week minimum on every single pond that's within their establishment, to the point where I've taken on a full-time member of staff that is merely there. His first priority is to do water checks every single week. Right, that's his first priority. On top of that, you do get, like everybody's pond in their garden, you do get the odd parasite nip in, irrespective of how well you're looking after your stock. You know, fish stress. You know, there's nothing more highly stressful than an establishment like mine where you get 500 people through the door. You get loads of kids that get absolutely excited, kick the ponds, touch the water, etc., etc. You know, so you're constantly combating against stress environment. You know, so if a fish becomes ill, then again, stockists or dealers should be making records of them illnesses. They should then be making records of what their treatment against that is. And anyone that comes into my shop, every single record is on show behind my counter. So they can get to see when ponds are being cleaned, what water test parameters are, any ill fish, what my medication was for that, etc., etc. And the reason why I introduced that to be put on show is merely down to the fact that I remember when I used to go into a koi stockist, I wanted to, you know, and I had some bad experiences in some places I went, and I was like, that ain't right. So I want to be as transparent as I possibly can be with everything that I've got, you know. So anybody asks me what my records are, what my koi losses are, we do get losses. You know, it's inevitable. You know, when we're bringing in stock like 10 to 12 centimeters long, them koi have gone through a huge amount of stress getting them into a new pond. And then the next thing you know, there's 100 people walking past them every day, gawping in. You know, they don't know what's going on. So parasites take hold really quickly, you know, and some fish don't make it. You know, it's part of the parcel. And when you're saying if you're seeing a dead fish, all right, as long as it can be justified, what you've got to remember is an establishment like mine where you've got 60 ponds, right? You're looking around, a fish can turn over between you doing your health checks, you know, and as long as I can then go, look, that's what I've done. There's my water checks. There's my filter clean records. The fish have been introduced at that. That's my first loss. And I can justify that livestock can be dead stock. You know, that's the difference. But if you're going up to ponds and they're clearly got smelly water, not all ponds in my establishment have got crystal clear water, because every pond's different and it's a pain in the backside to try and keep on top of. But as long as you can justify that you're doing all of the right things to try and make it a good customer experience, then that's the bit you've got to take away. I will tell you when my fish have been introduced, where my stock has been in every single pond. Right. The only thing that I don't do, because I don't need to, is record what fish go to what home. But what we do is record who was bought.
Sorry.
So what we do is know where they go. So if we do have an issue, we can then talk to the people that we come to. But that is an amazing amount of work, an amazing amount of like processing, and I guarantee you, mate, when you get in season, and you get, and Rick will tell you, mate, the amount of people coming through your doors trying to keep on top of that is extremely, extremely difficult. Hence the reason I literally got in 10 minutes ago from work, and I started at 7 o'clock this morning. You know, and that's just getting on top of all of that admin thing that happens in the background. And that's not even including your dry stock, your interruptions through the day, etc., etc., etc. Right. And to go back on the question where it's like the parasites, is there something going on in the industry? Categorically, I will tell you that I have heard nothing on the grapevine in industry speak that there's a problem. The problem is exactly what Rick said. There's more people now logging on video of what is happening, and a lot of inexperience that are learning from their mistakes. You know, and in a way, it's not good, but in another way, it is good, because if you can see where people are learning from their mistakes, then don't fall into the same trap. I've taken over your show. Thanks very much for letting me stand on this.
I was so crafty.
Totally agree. To be completely fair,
Hello,
I
Aid.
think when you sorry, Ed, yeah, and that we didn't give you an introduction, but I think Skegger, we were I mean, goddamn Skegger, this is twice in 2 weeks, mate. But
hang on. Say that again, Gaz.
this is twice in 2 weeks. Twice in 2 weeks. We've agreed on something, but he said something again today I think you were either today or it might have been yesterday in Vince's chat. Now, a lot of people, a lot of times you can have problems in your ponds. A fish can get a knock, a fish can get some damage. And everybody now is petrified that it's a bacterial infection. My fish is going to rot from inside out. What might just be a normal little bit of breeding scar, you know, a bit of rubbing or a bit of a rash from parasites or a knocked nose, a rub sore from grubbing around because they're hungry and you're not feeding them enough. People are looking at it now straight away and going, God, I've got the dreaded bacterial infection in my pond. And I'll be completely honest. I saw Vince's problem in his pond and I just said, I didn't say this is Vince. I said, shit, mate, I hope to God it's not. That's what I said. But it was my go-to to think, because I've seen a lot of it in friends' ponds. And I think your first thing is, shit, no. I hope that nobody else is going to be starting with that kind of thing. But as it happens, the more we looked at it and we progressed, me and Vince have been talking about this all week. The more we've looked at it, the more, and I said to him, I'm sure that's smaller than what it was. And sure enough, next day it's starting to look better and everything's starting to look good and things might be on the mend. But he gets up same following morning and there's a fish that's not wrong with it and it's gone.
It happens.
No marks on it, no problems, just done.
Honestly,
paranoid's not a bad thing.
When I lifted it up, there was absolutely not a mark on it. It looked pristine. And that's one of the most gutting things, is when you know there's nothing wrong and something like that happens.
Yeah, but the other side of it, Vince, is what I'm trying to say is when you lift your fish up and you know you found something and it's wrong, let's I mean, this was Skegger, and I agreed 100% when I listened to it and I read it. Let's stop being so paranoid. These bacterial infections that are out there that wipe out your pond aren't that common, and they aren't going through everybody's pond. And the first time you get an ulcer, which is a common thing, you get ulcers. It's not necessarily the be all or end all of your pond. So
it's not a bloodstream bacteria.
Exactly. It's just an ulcer, or it's just a knocked scale, or it's just. I mean, for example, I had one, and Daz said, "This is how not so much heartless, but how cutthroat we got last season." Daz gave me an Asaga. It had a knock on it. It had 3 or 4 scales that I'd lifted and raised, and I thought, shit. That was my first go-to. Shit, I've got it. And then I said, you know what, Daz? It's too nice a fish to not give it a go. So I'll be honest with you guys. I PP'd it within an inch of its life. And I thought, if that don't cure you, then its best mate will cure you, which will be me giving it, see you later, you're gone. I give it a chance. 2 days later, scale's gone down, not a problem. It's grown another 3 cm. So
See, on
nothing.
Vince, it sounded to me that I mean, I haven't seen pictures, but driving home, I was listening in the car. So to me, it sounded like it may have had a knock and taken some dead scales, but had become inflamed from that.
Right at the start, I personally, on the Tancho, I thought it had knocked itself. That was my initial thought. But with the way it just ballooned out,
Was it really big?
Yeah.
Right,
yeah, it looked like a tennis ball was trying to come out the side. So
tumor. Was it
I don't
nothing to do with tumor?
no, because I gave sent Ricky a video message, and I was actually saying to him, look, do you not think it'd be safer and easier just to euthanize it? And he's like, no, empty your toe side tank, take the salt up to 6%, put it in
0.6%. We'll get that right.
Yeah, 6%, and everything died. It was great.
0.6%. Well, I fold it up, and before I moved it over, I had a look at the side itself, and as I was manipulating the side, 2 scales popped out, literally just.
Were they dead scale, though? What's the tissue like where it was?
The tissue where it was stretched, but it seemed fine. And the following day, I bowled her up to take a video to send Ricky, and it's actually gone down. And now I've got a hole that's going to need treating.
But the swelling's reduced massively.
Massively.
Massive.
Vince, my question, mate, when you moved it out, was all that filmed on the same day?
Yes.
Right. Because believe it or not, mate, but when you had it in the bowl, I sent you those pictures of it the first time in the bowl and the second time in the bowl, and it was like in night, wasn't it? It was like from a little bump to the size of your fist, and I was like, God damn. But when we spoke later that evening, and you'd moved it into the QT, the toe side pond, it literally looked in there like it were half the size again.
Yeah.
Like whether or not whatever it was that was behind the skin, under the skin, some of it had come away because it
like an abscess.
It must have come away when it went into the salt. Yeah. And the salt, the only thing I can think of is when the scales popped, it broke the surface of whatever was holding it together.
Yeah.
And with the salt, it's drawn it out.
Yeah.
Like
that's exactly what happens with abscesses, isn't it? Hot water or salt water does that.
Yeah, and that's what I think's happened. So, I mean, she's swimming about now. She's gone down, but she is going to have to come out tomorrow and have a topical treatment done. That's for sure. But I think we're going to be we'll be saving her. Touch wood. We might end up with a little white scar on a white fish, but that spot's still there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have a look through the.
What's your take on it, mate?
Great.
So you joined in at that point. What do you think?
Say again, guys.
I was saying, what's Aid's take on it? Because at the end of the day, he's just joined in with us as well, right? Slap bang in the middle of this topic. If he wants to put a little bit of input in.
Hey, I reckon
I reckon Aid was shit out at Sleeping Lions when he was a kid.
I tell you what, if Aid put his glasses back on, it'd make the perfect water white, wouldn't he?
It would, wouldn't it?
Have you got a Heisenberg hat?
No.
He's back.
What do you reckon, Aid? What's your take, mate?
Am I back now?
You are back now, yeah, I can hear you now.
On what?
On the last question, which we had, which was, should sellers be made accountable for selling unhealthy koi that cause tragic consequences to hobbyists due to more and more hobbyists that are having this problem and no one is being made accountable?
Could you put the question on the screen, Gus?
No. Well, yeah.
He's frozen again.
It's I don't know if internet's playing or something else's internet's playing or
Always. You're a bit. Your internet's a little bit.
can you hear me?
Now I can.
Is it mine?
Yes.
Yeah,
It should be.
100%. Because us five are okay. So that's a bit of a giveaway.
Give me 5 minutes.
Reset
Drop
your
out and come back in again, and we'll try it. See if it just disconnect and reconnect.
He has. We just don't know it yet.
We'll put him back down there again until I see him moving. Oh, there you go. He's disconnected. Yeah, well, basically, the question was, should sellers be made accountable for selling unhealthy koi that causes tragic consequences to hobbyists due to more and more hobbyists that are having this problem and no one is being made accountable?
Yes, to a point.
Yes.
I agree.
I think if it's knowingly selling,
Didn't Tuna Mill get done for it? Knowingly selling fish with KHV back in the day. We're going back a long time, but knowing they had a problem and shifting fish because they had a problem.
Yeah.
So it came back to them and they lost in court. So
Who was that?
Chewing Mill back in the day. Remember Chewing Mill?
No.
So, yeah. So you to hold someone accountable, they have to knowingly be selling something that is not right. You know, that's going to cause, it's got an issue.
It's proving it, though. This is the thing.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's proving it, especially when you've bought multiple fishes from different sources.
If you go to the top end of the hobby where they're buying one fish a year and they've got 10 fish in their pond and they go somewhere and buy one fish that year from Momotaro or from wherever through a dealer, and then the pond goes down with KHV, but it's quite simple to follow the path back where it came from.
Yeah, definitely.
That dealer knowingly sold something that wasn't right, which is you should be accountable for what you do, whatever you sell.
Yeah, which is why you keep records, Ricky.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, we're bizarre because of the fact that we're not governed by a pet shop license because we're a breeder. Yet everything we ship out every customer is followed through our online. Every box of fish is followed. Yeah, so it comes back to us. It's one of those perhaps less than a normal like garden centre place where people walk in and walk out and you don't know where they're going. Most of our fish, we know exactly where they're going and it can be traced. It's all traceable. It's all recordable, which it can only be really a good thing.
I'm not laughing at you, Rick. If you ever see me,
you're always laughing at me, guys. It's all right. No. You wait till you come to my place and put chest waders on. I'm putting you out in the siltiest, deepest pond.
Waders.
Edward Guppy's just added to it there. Don't let Gaz arrange the time on Sunday. You'll all be missing each other. Because I'm an hour out, apparently.
We'd be there all day.
That's something that surprised me. That Skegger. Koi Fish Johnny euthanized all his fish.
Oh, I see.
Now,
didn't see that.
This is probably not going to do me any favors. And to be quite frank, I don't really care if it does or doesn't. I was rather surprised that he went out and bought brand new fish with the suspicion of having problems. I mean, a sacrificial fish, yes. But top nice quality fish that he bought like that and then putting them in and watching them all turn to shit when he suspected he were going to have it or might have had it seemed like a silly mistake to make to me. And sorry guys, he's had a problem in his pond, lost his fish,
got some survivors and put a whole load of new fish on top.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Well,
Sort of, yeah.
Again, with no quarantining, same
Correct.
thing.
but this is where YouTube is the good and the bad, isn't it? He's highlighting to everyone, don't do that.
But
Yeah.
but it's also not taking care. That's the problem.
But at the same time, I mean,
What was
I've
that, Crafty?
introduced new fish to my pond, but I've been real lucky. It's
Connected
that case.
through me
But I
forward.
wouldn't have introduced new fish to a pond knowing full well I'd got a problem. That's the bit I don't understand why he did or why he did it.
But it was the severity of the problem as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you know that you've got that bloodborne infection in your pond, and then you willingly go out and put fish in that pond with them, and they come to the same thing, it's
He's not here to defend himself, Gaz.
no. That's what I'm meaning.
From what I watched and that he did say, you know, I might have done a bad thing here when things started to come back to light. And that's where the problem lies. It's not knowing, but having a sneaky suspicion it might be. Now, I thought he was raising the temperature in his pond to try and
it were advised not to do, though. It were advised to leave it be and see what happens when the temperatures rise naturally. Why force something if you know, in the periods and times where fish are weaker? Wait till the temperatures get there, and then it happened.
Well, I would have falsified, you know, I would have forced that heat in to try and bring that forward, so you've got time to deal with it before you make those decisions. Just bear with me.
Craft is on the other line.
Helpline.
Hello, 10 boxes on their way. It's a tricky one. If he's
To be
got
fair,
over,
though,
if he feels he's got over a problem and put new fish in to only find it resurfaces, he's just kind of he's learning what a lot of people might have already told him. But
I can understand why he's done it, because his problem was the timeline as well. I mean, he spoke to Paula Reynolds and she gave him the advice, which is perfectly sound advice. But realistically, he was looking probably best part of 2 years before he could put any more fish in if he left things as they were. So, I mean, that's a long bloody time to wait before you think about sort of sorting your pond out. So,
how far would it?
I think I would have done the same. I would have just euthanized the lot. And then,
how far had he got, like with the bacterial issue? Had his fish fell apart, or did it just on itself?
Yeah. And most of the other fish have started to show marks one way or another. So it looks like pretty much all the fish have got it.
So why not try and get you know, the injections that could have reversed that?
But then whenever you add any new fish later on down the line, they can still be carriers. I think realistically, if you're looking long term to keeping your fish and want to do the hobby for a long period of time, the best thing is to start from scratch again. New kit.
But there was that other thing as well. That other thing as well that he said does. He's got young kids.
Yeah. And
his young kids are coming out and picking their next favourite fish because the favourite fish has gone. And it's real difficult to explain to a child of that age what's happened to the next favourite fish as they get to watch that one rot away.
Yeah.
And then deteriorate more and more, and then it dies, and then you've got to explain
it's
to
in your face
why
as
the
well.
favourite fish is gone.
It's right opposite the window, isn't it? Where the
exactly. I mean, it's red in your face, isn't it? There's no hiding it. There's no getting away from it. Fish can see it 24/7. So, kids can see the fish 24/7. So I can see why he did it. I mean, for me, how far do you go before you're spending ridiculous amounts of money to save fish that inevitably you might not be able to do anything with for the next 2 years, or ever introduce anything to them fish again?
Well, whenever they're alive, they're compromising your pond, aren't they? There's always that doubt there that they're going to be carriers and they're going to infect whatever else you put in.
Yeah, but that comes down to every situation. And if you've only got 3 fish left, you turn around and say, "Well, we just draw a line under it." Yeah. But if you and everything's different, there's no and it is a difficult thing. And then if you've suddenly got 5 fish left and they're all right, and you put some new ones in, it's one of those you've got to trial it. You've got to see if they're all right or not. But yeah, it is a problem because bacterial issues. We haven't got access to the antibiotics. Period. That might work, should work, and that's kind of I get why, because people don't use them right for themselves, let alone on their fish. You get antibiotics. Most people don't take them or don't do it right, let alone whatever with your fit is. And it comes back to just if you could not introduce it to your pond.
Yeah.
That's
nice, isn't it?
But it's not great advice when it's in your pond. That's not great advice because you've got it in your pond and now you've got to deal with it. So, you've got to give an environment where those fish, if you've got enough fish that can deal with it, then give them the best environment. And if it means raising your temperature outside of that window when the ulcers are bad, so you basically run your pond cold, then hot, and miss that aeromonas window, you can run a pond like you can have happy, healthy fish. You just got to be aware that they're carrying an issue. So when you put new stock in there, something to be aware of.
Yeah.
And they'll live with it. Their immune system will deal with it. But it's not an easy thing for a general hobbyist with a 4,000 gallon pond that's outside to be able to go, yeah, I'll run it at 10 degrees through the winter and I'll run it at 25, 26 degrees through the summer. And I'm going to miss that horrible up and down spring.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's tricky.
Reading through some comments that people are putting in here, you can't guarantee your livestock 100%. You can give the best peace of mind, but you can't cast iron. What everyone else says or talk to Paul Reynolds about. And then you've got other ones where you know, a dealer might have his fish. He might have gone through all the loops and all that, and if it's a bacterial infection that sticks in there and only raises its ugly head in a certain type of conditions, how would you know if you've not experienced it or seen it and you move it on, you sell it on?
You wouldn't. But that's the grey area. That's
what I mean. That's what I'm saying, Ricky. So I mean, it's unfair to go, yeah, you, and you, or they're good, they're not there. Because at the end of the day, it's almost like mission impossible to guarantee 100% your fish are perfect. There's no such thing. Perfection doesn't exist. Simple fact.
But saying,
get as close as damn near it as you can, and have the best that you can possibly do, and at least you're doing as much as you can.
Totally right. As long as you're satisfied and can prove that you've done your checks, etc., before selling that fish, that's as much as you need to do.
Yeah, 100%.
And to be fair, every dealer should have their own ethos. Where you buy your fish from, how you look after your fish, when you're happy to sell the fish. You know yourself when you're a dealer if you want to put a fish in a bag and send it off or not. Because if that fish ain't right, you make that extra 50 quid or just actually don't take that fish. It ain't right. Just today, don't take that fish.
Yeah.
It's kind of what you
today that fish is sold.
Yeah, it's not just about money, is it? Most koi dealers love koi. Period.
Miss Dale Pinky there. We have lost every fish in our grow-on pond, and 80% of our main pond fish broken.
God.
And sorry to hear that, mate.
Whoa. Where'd they come from?
Is any Mrs.
But why? What?
Is any of this that we're talking to you or what we're saying? Is any of this ringing true? Have you not done any of these things? Have you not quarantined fish? Have you introduced different stocks from different ones? Because inevitably, if you take a quarantined fish in a quarantine tank and then you go somewhere else and buy another fish and bring it back and put it in that quarantine tank.
But what they're saying is different. They've got a grow-on tank where they've lost their fish. So imagine you buy a batch of fish, you grab them, they're fine. You put some of those fish now into your main pond, and then you get a reaction from said fish. It's it's not necessarily as black and white. It's heartbreaking if that's what they've done, if that's what's happened. But
Can you tell us a bit more?
I think that outlines, Rick, exactly like if it's down to bacteria, which I can imagine it is. You know, it outlines how easy it is to like go from grow on quarantine into a new pond, and then have such an outbreak that's so vigorous.
Just using the same, just something as silly as that.
Yeah, and that's how simple it can be. So unless there's any trends build, against dealers like sending out 50 fish and infecting 50 ponds, which is what you were saying with regards to the KHV from way backward to the people that lost a court case, that it's just impossible to say if it's a dealer issue, your issue, or just a natural incident that's occurred that's unfortunate. But
yeah, it is. The problem is that they could have lost all their fish in their Grand Pond and 80% of the main pond from Costia. Yep. Something as simple as Costia without being able to identify it, and it's run through the fish.
Yeah.
And yet an experienced koi keeper might have stopped that before they've lost the fish. So where does that come back? Is that I'm not saying that's what it is. It might be something much more horrific than that. But
that's variables, isn't it?
That's the problem.
I think when it comes to the case of any form of treatment, if you're trying to treat them, because there's like Miss Dale Pinky said, would not be possible to inject all our koi, all our grow on, and all our larger koi fish. The thing is,
that's a bacterial. It's a bacterial issue then, and you don't need to. Yeah, it's tricky because not all bacterial problems need inject. In fact, you can't get the antibiotics to inject, basically, unless you know the right vet who's done all the testing. So you've got to do the sensitivity test through Paul or someone to get the antibiotics.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, it is a nightmare. Like Mike Coy Beginning says, it's a bit behind, but if you inject your fish with the correct antibiotics, you can cure the problem. It will not be still in the koi. Problem is if you underdose. So you say
when you get these injections, gas, it's not as easy as saying inject, your fish or under inject. You actually get given a syllabus to dose your fish, but it's against the weight of the fish, certain times of the day, and you have to follow a very vigorous.
Oh yeah, and I would imagine a very expensive as well.
Very.
I mean, right. My way of looking at it is, if you've paid 150 quid for one fish and you've got it from, I don't know, maybe 30 cm, and you've grown it up to 60, 70 cm.
Good feed, then.
That fish stands you 150 quid. If to treat the whole of your pond, it's going to cost you several £1,000s.
Yeah.
But you can replace those fish for several £100s.
Yeah.
How far do you go before you put in bad money?
Don't forget, mate, actually, by law, you are to look after your fish. Right?
My dog cost me nothing, but I spend thousands down theirs.
Yeah. Actually, by law, Animal Welfare Act.
I spent £2,500 putting a bionic hinge in my dog's leg. I know what it's like to spend money on a dog. I've done it, been there, mate. I spent thousands of pounds trying to cure him of a skin condition, which ended up being just allergies, even though the vet's got it all completely wrong. I'm saying, how far technically they're livestock crafter. You can crack them overhead and you can cook them in frying pan. So you're not obliged to treat a fish at all.
But don't forget, if you are putting it on screen, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying or suggesting that anybody should.
It's a bit of a rocky road, mate. That's what you've got to be careful.
But what my thing is like if you've got 15 fish and they're all 60, 70 cm, how much does it cost to treat a fish like that for a course of that antibiotics? I mean, Mike could probably know.
But you can't get the antibiotics to work. That's the problem. So
what do you do?
And you can inject your fish. you can't get the correct antibiotics to inject your fish with, and if you could, you're not clearing the entire system of the bacteria. You might clear a fish that's strong, but some of the weak ones you're not. So, in reality, you might help their immune system to recover. So your fish in the pond might survive and heal up. But I bet you're not clearing that bacteria from the entire system.
Yeah. Well, that's
the difficult part.
That is the issue.
What is the best way, as Pinky's put it, sorry, cutting it down a little bit, Mrs. Dale Pinker, what would be the best way to disinfect our system now all our fish have gone? What should go to everything?
AIDS coming in with PP.
Well, I've PP'd all mine.
We can all pick a chemical, just chuck it in.
Yeah, I've PP'd mine 3 times, and touch wood, I've got no fish in there. Touch wood, everything's been tickety-boo for the last 8 weeks.
So, sorry, we've been talking about this, and you're someone that's been on the other side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But I think I got through it now. Touch wood.
But
hopefully.
Ed, have you got anything left from your original stock?
You think?
Nothing. So you basically you haven't got through it. You're starting again.
Because I was just losing them one by one, so I ain't got none left. So it's a brand new stock in there now.
So what you're saying is you basically drawn a line under it. You're starting again.
So I PP'd it all, and touch wood, as I say, I've had no issues.
Pretty much what it's Tropical Koi had to do. Exactly the same, mate. Exactly the same.
Is this internet still playing up?
And I'm guessing, yeah, it is a little bit. I'm guessing that's pretty much what. Get a room, you two.
I think it is.
I'm pretty much guessing that's what Koi Fish Johnny's gone with. You know, gone with the everything's getting it. Everything's gonna cost.
This internet's playing up again.
Can
you still hear me?
Yes, a bit late, but we can hear you.
We can hear you when you talk. It's when you keep real still, you get us all confused. I think, but I do agree with what Skeggy was saying. I do agree with what Skeggy said. I think we all should chill out a little bit. Not everybody that gets a bump on a koi has got this super duper bad bacteria. I mean, you need to assess it day by day, treat that fish individual. If you start seeing it in big numbers and you start losing koi and they're all starting to rot to bits,
I think I'll keep losing you. Hang on a minute, I'll be back in a second.
My advice would be, if you suspect it, send away a fish for analysis and find out what you've got going on. Yeah. Let the people that can do a proper test tell you what's going on, and then you can make a conscious decision of how you move forward.
Take advice on it.
Yeah.
Step back, but. This question on the screen now: how do you disinfect your system? You literally, if there's no fish in there, be it toilet bleach, be it chloramine tea, be it super dose of potassium, anything will disinfect it. Just leave the whole system running and put a dose through it, and you're starting with a brand new pond. But
one tip: be careful how much bleach you put in. If you put in as much as what Mr.
Skeggy went over the top.
You will be having a phone party.
Yes, didn't he just?
It's polytunnel. You couldn't get in the door.
Bubbles everywhere. But won't do any damage to your garden or your lawn or anything like that if it gets onto it.
No.
Bleach doesn't kill plants. So.
It doesn't kill plants, no.
Yeah, well, Skeggy didn't just bleach his pond, his fucking filters. He bleached the polytunnel and the grass.
Doubly chewer. To be chewer. Why not?
But the thing is, we need to work out why these people, where's this coming from, innit? And to stop it getting in your pond.
Yeah.
Buy from a good dealer, quarantine your fish. This should not happen.
Yeah.
Done.
Agreed.
And those free statements there, that's it. Top and bottom of it. Be careful. But stop panicking as well as be careful and stop panicking. I agree with what Skeggy said. There have been some unfortunate people out there that's gone through it, But this is only because we know about it now because of, well, channels
Everyone's
like
got a
this.
camera
People coming
phone.
and telling us, people, people recording it, people putting it out there. I would imagine this has been going on for a lot of years. We just haven't heard about it.
Yeah. We've always had those bacteria. It's just this particular one's reared its ugly head again this season.
You have to rewind 15 years when KHV reared its head. Seriously, we went to a meeting at CFAS and they're like, well, what should we do to control it? We've imported boxes of fish from 12 countries and 9 of them have got KHV coming in. And just stop them. We can't. World trade means you can't stop them. So that's it. So you're allowing imports of ornamental fish with KHV into the country with no restrictions. Done.
They've beat the shit out of it, so that should have done it.
Good girl.
If you wanted to, add a bot. I mean, make a weekend of it. Get barbecue out, get it going, get your backy shower running, get a pool party going, get some foam out, bit of music, have a laugh, shits and giggles, and give it a bucket of bleach for it for 5 or 6 days and have a laugh and a giggle like Mike did. Foam everywhere.
I'd use bleach as well for, like you say, Gaz, as a
Run
backup.
it through with some bleach as well, through your system, through all lot. Advisably, my advice, if you have got a backy shower, would to take the media out, take your media out of your filter as well, and soak that in a gorilla tub in bleach and leave it in there for a couple of days as well. Give it a good stir up each day, and then give it a real good rinse again.
I'd personally buy new backy house media.
I wouldn't go that far. Fucking hell, too dear, mate.
Even CSM is still fucking expensive.
I'm going to put it out there, right? Just so people know. This is how confident I was in having it and taking it and not having a problem with it. I took media from Mr. Tropical Koi and he PP'd it, and then when he took it out of PP, he soaked it in bleach. I brought it back home and I bleached it again for another week. I then stuck it all on my lawn and I hosed it all off, and it's in my filter now. That's come from that bloodborne disease, and it didn't spread out to my pond. Bleach kills 99.9%. The chance of that bacteria being that 0.1% is slim to fucking none. So
0.1%, mate.
Yeah, exactly. 0.1%.
It doesn't survive. It doesn't survive without a host. You're fine.
Yeah.
That's
so
the issue.
You will be able to make use of your media again. You don't need to buy new. All went in. I even got some media from Daz as well. We bleached that, did exactly the same thing. Not that Daz had the issue at all. I'm not saying he did, but I took that media and I bleached it just the same, and it's in my filter system right now, and it's never been an issue. So
it's like most really bad issues. They're host to host transferable.
Yeah.
You've got to be transferring either the fish or the mucus or something close proximity for that virus or bacteria to be traveling.
Oh, I'll tell you what, my internet's playing up tonight, so I might as well
now.
chuck it in the pond.
When was the last time you restarted your router, mate?
Say that again.
When was the last time you turned off your router and switched it back on after 3 minutes?
That's what I've been doing.
Tonight.
You know what I mean?
You know what they say, though? That's the first thing we come out with. Make sure you switch off at the wall, leave it off for 3 minutes and let it start back up again.
Yeah, but the best thing about it, I used to work on there with them. So I'm on my phone now, so I'm just running off the 4G.
It's better than
your wife.
Better than your internet, boy.
Tell me about it.
One question for you, Aid. Is that chili behind you hot?
I don't know. I ain't at it yet.
Yeah,
It probably would be, yeah.
Do this.
I didn't even know that was chili. Nice.
Yeah, why do they call chilies hot? It's like the total opposite, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I don't know. Some of them chilies, I have them hot.
I think you're going off with the.
Definitely ban.
Where's actually.
Anyway, Crafty, when's your momentary date, mate?
I'll let you know next week.
Mate, keep letting us know.
isn't it?
Well, what I'm planning to do is get it between obviously the national and also the Great British.
Next week, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know, but between the national and
next weekend.
But this is I'm giving the point, so I'm trying to get a date between the national and also Great British Koi Show. You know, that it's just about getting the diary dates and the staffing levels. I've got quite a lot.
You're trying to get a date between those points where everybody's pockets are empty.
Yeah.
Guys, we don't have to pay, mate. We're YouTubers; they're free.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah.
But if you come and see me at the National, I'm there at the National on the Sunday.
You as well. So it's going to be well busy.
I will be.
It's going to be empty on the Saturday, isn't it?
Well, I've managed to
get my mug crafty.
Oh, Crafty, you'll be able to get it out eventually, mate. Right, hang about. One sec. Crafty's trying to say something. Go on, mate. Get it out.
Right, so originally I wasn't coming to the National because of staffing shortages. Okay. I've now managed to reverse that to get there on the Sunday. Okay. I have got, and you've got an exclusive here, Gaz, because I haven't even put it out on my company channel yet. I am taking some preloaded gift cards from the store. Okay, and one of them will be loaded with £500.
That's the one you're going to give me, isn't it?
But
how do we get that?
But it's going to be some people that I choose to take, and I don't know how many I've got yet. So it's going to be, you know, there's going to be preloaded with tenors, 25s, 50s, £100, and one with £500. But the gift cards are not numbered, so you're not going to have £10 written on it. It's
1 second,
I don't know which one's got what.
Dibs are 500. Thanks very much. Yes. Screw you all. I got it in before you.
Guys, you're too late. I dibsed it.
Yeah, I won't know what's on those cards until they're scanned into the system. So there's no. I know what we're taking, but I won't know which one's got what. So anybody could land a £500 gift card if they're lucky to take it. You know?
How much do they cost then? 10 or each?
15 quid a shot, mate.
What's the minimum price?
I think the minimum we've got to do is 15 quid, but they're not going to cost anything.
I'll have them all.
And this is my point, right? So, you know, I've managed to sit down with my boss that he's totally 100% behind me, and because this year I joined the company too late to be able to get a pitch there, you know, us giving something back to people rather than having a pitch and doing business is right. There's some gift cards. I hope you're lucky, you know, come down and spend it.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Gaz is going to be following you around that show. Like crafty.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, mate. I don't mind left-handers. No, I'm joking. What did you say?
Yeah. Guys. Make sure Crafty doesn't have a minute's peace and quiet come Sunday at the said show till he's got rid of all the envelopes, and then we're all going shopping.
Bring it. That's what I want.
Nice one, brother.
Can't go wrong with that, surely. Well, you can. We're going to bankrupt you. Well, that's no. It's right. So the reason why I've been able to do it, and you know, my thanks goes out to everybody that's been down to the shop and bought stock, because I've done so well in the first 4 months of being there. I've managed to allocate some of that revenue that we've earned to put back to the community. So that's one thing that I'm doing down my shop. I'm making sure that everyone gets looked after as much as I can possibly do that. You know, and that's the service I'm bringing people.
It's nice, Crafty, but none of us have brought anything from yet, and we're all going after your gift cards.
But you'll still come down with our gift cards, mate, won't you? You know,
Yeah, that's very true.
That brings you
what
through my door.
I will call on the way back up and spend my £500 gift card on my way home.
I'm going to make sure you don't get a gift card now. I'll tell you. I'll give them all to Rick.
15 quid to get a tenner. That's my luck. That I'll get one of those that says in it, I owe you.
You know, so not only am I doing that, but when it comes to the Momotaro stuff, they're going to be going out with minimal earning from us.
Yeah.
Right. Merely because I want people to come and see the establishment, know what they're getting a good service. And, you know, I want people to find a dealership where I'm 115% behind it, not 10, 115%. And we will jump through hoops to make sure that you're looked after.
Sounds good to me.
It does.
Now,
yeah.
I would just like to mention now that Aid has actually joined and left and joined and left and joined as many times as I've put live channels out. So he's technically been on nearly every show now. So
He's frozen again.
And he's frozen again. I reckon.
And look what you start getting as soon as you arrive, something like that. Look, people sending little kisses. You know, that ain't gonna butter me up, mate.
Did you get right?
Was that?
Do you want to get your number out, Rusty?
I thought that was from you guys.
That was from DT. It was pink.
I'm not gonna disclose it. We all know him though. Koi beginnings, just to answer your question there, mate. No is the question. All of my koi are through koi wholesale. That is my contract to Rick.
How did you get that question? Have I got like the edited version?
I'm with you on that one, Dave. Surely if it's on Gaz's show, that means Gaz gets the top prize.
Oh, Dave, get your dick out your mouth.
Tell you what, I can't help him anymore, can I? You know.
He wouldn't know what to do with 500 quid anyway, would he? Unless you can fit roofs. You can put your roof on him.
I comment.
AIDS has left more time than Robbie Williams has left. Take that. Are you on PC, Rick?
PC what?
i.e. your device, or are you on a phone?
No, on a PC, mate. That right. Bubbles.
Right, so if you have a look in the top right-hand column, right, there's private chat and comments. If you click on the comments tab, it brings up everybody as they're making comments.
Oh, man. I don't think I want to see that. I like living my life.
You don't want to, mate. Rick is a cock.
Yeah.
You don't want to read that, mate.
Don't make it more complicated than what it needs to be. You didn't even know how to turn off Google.
You said Google.
Go from that to that.
That was hilarious.
I mean,
if I knew my computer had OK Google, I'd. Oh, you dickhead!
You dickhead! You've done it now, haven't you? Mine's going now.
Search the web for that. Just tap search chip below.
Google, go away.
Google, set my alarm.
Okay, Google, Ricky a butt plug.
So there you go. Everybody now knows how to say each other's Googles. So, what were you saying, Rick? Because she's still talking to you.
I don't know, mate. How do you switch off? Google, go away.
What was the word that what was the word you were told you needed to Google stop?
All I've got on my screen is you dickhead. Okay, Google, switch off.
Right, we've got one more for Will. Popeye, as in literally eyes popping out of the head, also known as dropsy. What's your opinions on it, guys? Is it a curable? Can you cure it?
Dropsy, no.
I can't switch off Google, mate. That's no way asking me. It's not good.
Oh, dear.
Every week.
What do you reckon? What's your opinion on it? Because I know Will's had a fish that he has lost to it this week, so he wants to know a little bit more about it. What can you shed with him?
Susan just said if he's got Popeye, shouldn't he be feeding him some spinach?
Spinach.
You're always.
To be honest, I wouldn't even try to save a fish with Popeye. I'd just use an eye. But I mean, that's from a commercial point of view. But from a pet point of view, then yeah, I don't really know where to start.
If it's got Popeye, the pressure inside it is greater than the pressure outside it. So salt is probably the best option to relieve that pressure. Osmotic pressure, just wang the salt up to not 6%, Vince, 0.6%, 0.6%. And you're
it with some chips.
You're equalising the body and the fluid around it to the same osmotic pressure, so it will relieve the pressure to a degree. It might not save it, but
you can't.
For me, hey, your beard's grown quick, boy.
It's not mine.
Am I right in assuming? Well, I know I am, but Popeye is also an advance of dropsy.
No. It's elevated pressure in the wrong place, be it in the head or the body, liquid pressure.
But a fish with dropsy can also get Popeye.
Yes,
correct.
But a fish with Popeye doesn't necessarily have to get dropsy. Or
if you've got a fish displaying symptoms of dropsy with its eyes popping out of its head,
you're in deep trouble.
Yeah, deep trouble.
So that photo you sent me earlier, that was dropsy.
Yeah.
That wasn't just Popeye on his own. That was full-blown dropsy, boy.
So there is, right, there you go then, Will. So there is just Popeye. The fact that yours was eyes popping out of its head was the amount of pressure that was on the fish and the fact that its body had ballooned up to such a size that its eyes were bulging as well, mate. Yeah?
Isn't dropsy something to do with liver disease? Or
It's
kidney.
Kidney
failure. I knew it was one of the organs.
Yeah. Kidney
Not
failure.
necessarily, no, but yeah. If a fish has got an issue with its kidneys and it's taken on too much water, generally they're taking on water all the time and they're discharging the water. So by bringing up the salt level, you're balancing up the salt in the fish and the water around it, so the osmotic pressure is relieved and it gives itself out.
Realistically,
the osmosis process.
You
It's a
can
balance.
relieve the symptoms, but you can't actually cure it long term.
You can, if it depends what the problem is. Yeah.
Well, I cured it once and it came back 12 months later and it died from it.
That's lots of people talking. I don't know. Some of you are right, some of you are wrong.
In my old house, I had a beautiful an orange
Renji Ogon.
A Renji.
Ogon. Yeah,
Orange curtains.
and it developed dropsy, and my wife wasn't too pleased with me because I had it in the bath with salt. Yeah,
As you do.
As you do.
She said, what the bloody hell is that fish doing in the bath?
Having a bath.
Washing his hair.
Having a salt bath.
Next to my rubber duck.
Anyway, I just
Tony,
thought
did it survive?
No, it didn't. No.
Would you do it again?
Putting
it in the
the
bath.
bath in didn't help, Rick.
I don't know. We got a jacuzzi bath now. It might not like that much.
Get you, snuffy git.
Jacuzzi.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I only came on to make sure that Crafty knew I'm up for the £500 gift card.
Tony, he doesn't know who's
That's
getting
already been dibsed.
Oh, fucking dibs.
He bent the corner over of my one to make sure I get it.
I'll look after you, Rick.
I went to a trade show once where this particular company had a chest full of bottles of whiskey, and
Sounds good.
And all the tradespeople that was going was sent a key in the post, and I had a key and whatnot. But I had a friend that knew somebody that worked in the offices of this company, and he said, "Throw your key away." He said, "It ain't going to work." I said, "Why ain't it going to work? I got as much chance as anybody else." He said, "No, you ain't. I got all the keys that work." He said, "It's your turn to go and get one now and bring it away, because I can't go up 20 times for 20 bottles of whiskey." Yeah, what a cheat.
Did you get a bottle of whiskey?
Sorry?
Did you get some whiskey?
I did.
Good. The moral of the story is you cheated and you won.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Bad. I felt bad about it afterwards.
What?
That's the hangover.
Well, we're having a right cultural mixture today, aren't we? I mean, we've had Aid looking like Heisenberg from Breaking Bad, and we've got Rabsy Nisbet down there in the corner.
What, Crafty?
We've got the hillbilly up in and Vince is a hillbilly.
I'm only pretending to be frozen, really.
Are we going to talk about koi at any time tonight?
We are, yeah. And the next thing we're going to do right now, we're actually, it's seen as though we've had so much doom and gloom and death and fish and rotting corpses and all the rest of it. Let's appreciate some koi. Let's have a look.
Rabsy Nisbet is a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're listening to your conversation, Vince. It's better than Gaz's.
We've been listening to
my daughter trying to tell me off.
Yeah. Did your daughter want to join us? Because we've been listening to most of the evening.
You have the fucking same conversations, no thank you.
Come on, bitch!
Mate, that's got to be one of those little plums you do, mate.
Yeah, I mean, house fuck off sound.
Yeah, but you need to be pushing that little button there, Gaz, mate.
Yeah, which one? This one.
Yeah,
Not working.
Not working.
Let's go for it. Let's have a look at some. Let's have a look at some fish.
That's not working
either.
Well, you can see the comments while you're on here.
No, you
see the comments.
Come on, Tony. I thought you were a technical man. I thought you were up on your IT and all that lot.
I'm beginning just to think it's us in here. There's no one else listening.
I'm not too bad on IT. It's just that I hadn't seen that tab before.
I haven't seen it.
You hadn't seen that tab before. Right, here we go. There we go. That's Mark Chetters.
Cyber you cheeky bastard.
We've gone on one there.
Look at that one.
Strong gin on that.
Yeah.
Very strong.
You'd have to call that a Crescent Moon Tancho Ginrin Weird Stardust Machine.
Oh, you've had a few.
But a cracking looking.
It is
nice.
a Crescent Moon. Ish.
Couldn't reproduce another one like it, could you?
Nope.
But what is it?
Next week.
Yeah. Where's it from?
Yeah. First question is, are they for sale? There we go. There's Mr. Nigel Pinfields.
Can we zoom in on it?
Is this Tancho?
Oh, that's better.
Got a red head.
It's not a Tancho, to be honest.
You wait to see Minecraft. Jeez.
All right.
So this this is the thing. There you go. There's. Well,
nice.
What would you class it as then? If not
shower.
A Tancho.
Shower.
But it's a Tancho shower.
It's not Tancho. It's got red on the head.
No, it's on the nose, mate. It's not on the head, is it?
Well, yeah, true. Yeah, it's too far down.
Yeah.
I can see a clearer picture of Nigel in the background.
Yeah, and his balding head.
It should be more real.
Nigel, you know I love you, mate.
Yeah, someone's got it.
There's a red spot on that one, isn't there? Look.
Yeah.
I can see the polycarbonate roofing better than the fish.
There we go. That's another one of Nigel's. Again, technically
Tancho
not,
Gashiki.
but it's
Tancho Goshki.
Gashiki.
Goshki.
Gashiki.
Gashiki.
It's almost a Kucha Benny, gosh.
I bet Nigel's just messaged me. Let's have a look. Yeah.
oh, that's not one. That's not one. There we go. Dale South.
Thank you for comment, Nigel.
Sorry, mate. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. That's a
Right.
Tancho, but with more of a heart-shaped spot on his head.
Yeah, that's not the Shiroji is very strong on that.
You used to have a Tancho with a square red spot on his head.
No, you did. You did, didn't you?
I mean, the spot is like where it should be on a Tancho, although it's not technically correct. But you know, we're not looking for excellence. That is a nice little fish. That.
Yeah, definitely.
That's not one.
How's that,
That yours, Rick.
Well, that was the middle. That was the middle. The photos are in. Let's see if I can get people to send the pictures. I mean, some of Nigel's fish are actually in one of another comment, so I'm going to have to go into the actual comment. Bring that one back up. But that's whose is that one? That's Cy Ellis's one that he lost. That was a nice.
Oh, mate.
Yeah. It's got a great body on that. Good body. Mm.
It wouldn't have amounted to anything. Look at it. It's got a perfect red spot, a lovely body. Just oh no.
Look at the backbone on that. You know, that fish has got or would have had great chance of getting big as well. Big fat peduncle.
Cheers, Crafty.
Right between the eyes.
Right between the
Cy, it's a sad shame, mate. You lost it, but that was a nice fish.
I'll tell you what, Tone, man, you crease me up. What used to come out every week? You do the rounds right between the eyes.
Yeah.
Nice fish, that.
Silence.
That one's Sally Harfield's.
That's not one of mine, is it?
It is.
Yeah,
Right,
I
yeah.
think it is.
I don't know what it's taking me. I don't know whether it is or not.
To be
What am I-
fair, though,
what am I
it's now it's 97 centimeters now.
I think
It looks transparent.
without being rude, I think we might be stretching that one as a Tancho a little bit.
Very
potential.
stretched. What's quite worrying is we've got a glass and a fork in the background.
To be honest, that's probably 4 months old as well, isn't it?
Ready for the
On the
frying pan.
That's one of the fry, isn't it?
That looks fry to me, mate. It's very transparent.
Yeah, they are
It's
right.
very
They're
transparent.
young fish, yeah.
These are probably that cross the YouTube I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's got to be.
Mine don't look like that.
10 to 12. There you go. Nice fish, that. Sally,
That's
that's your best one, yeah.
That's a Yamtanishki. That's not a Tancho. I see red on the side and the back.
Yeah.
Vince, leave it. It's fine. That's all right.
Yeah.
I thought Yamatanoshki as soon as I saw it, to be fair.
Tell you what, when that sumi comes up proper, that's going to be a lovely fish.
Don't tell Alan, he's judging him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a lovely fish, that one. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Got a bit of red though, isn't it, on the
Yeah, but let's not sacrifice it. Let's look at that for what it is. That is
Yeah,
a
we
nice
put
fish.
pressure over that and we don't see it then, do we?
You know, wow, that's just. I'll tell you what, I'd have that in my pond.
Go straight in his basket.
It's not yours yet, Crafty.
Not mine.
Get in my basket.
I'd see that personally, I'd like to see that when it's at like 40, 50 cm. That'd look really special, I think.
Ooh.
That's pretty.
I'd bet that's potentially a coda. That's got coda written all over it. That
in the gin rim. I can see it.
Coda or Yoda?
In the stars.
Good features.
Yeah, it's got coda as a breeder written all over it. Very, very good for that sort of gin ring on his fish. Strong.
Yeah, that's
really strong.
It's quite sparkly.
Very nice.
That's stretching it.
Yeah.
It's trying very hard.
Again, appreciation.
It's developing.
The sumi markings are beautifully placed.
Yeah. Good body frame. You know,
Personally, I think it'll become a Becco.
Well, it all depends, mate, doesn't it, on what happens to that Benny, mate. You know, there's no guarantees that Benny will fall off.
I'm beginning to reckon Sally's photos are all on the decking. I'm getting a feed. Is that the same fish we saw earlier?
This one's just getting over white spot. Really didn't think he was going to make it. So it is on the mend, but it's not looking so cracker.
Okay, so, you know, just looking at that, you can see just behind the gills where it's starting to pinch in. It needs, you know, you can see that it's potentially got a struggle to get through its life, to be honest. Massive head, really pinches in. You know, that'll be something I'll be watching in my ponds to see how it develops. You know, whether it's going to make it or not. I would say it probably doesn't, honestly.
I think that one might have gone too far.
Protein shake.
That's a Misagi.
Different.
That'd be a Benny Asagi, man.
Yeah.
When that fully develops, I'd expect that Benny would cover the whole faceplate eventually.
Yeah.
And the
I
Benny
think that'll link up.
So be classed as a Benny Asagi. Nice picture, that. I like that.
I mean, that's the same one.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
Yeah. Same one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good reticulation as well. Looking at that.
Stretching it for a Sancho, though.
Just the wrong week, Sally. Should have been 4 weeks ago.
If we was to split hairs on that fish, Gaz, you know, it's potentially a little bit too dark, too young in the scalation. You know, and unless that photo is not doing the colour justice. If we're looking for a fish on that that's going to do well later on, I personally would look for a pale grey stroke, very pale blue. And that, but nevertheless, let's not take away from what it is. That's going to be a lovely fish in a pond. That.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. Little Tancho shower.
Sally's got a lot of fish, hasn't she? She's a dealer.
That's Ginrin as well.
Yeah,
he is.
There we go. That's better.
That's better.
That's where you want it. Not going to be the biggest fish in your pond, Sal. If you look at the tail tube, it's quite stumpy. Broad shoulders, you're potentially going to find that's going to get more belly than length, going towards like power than length of the fish. So the profile's a little bit
Not
too
bad
far.
for 6 week old though, Crafty.
No, I'm not knocking it. Giving a little bit of advice on it, mate. You know,
little bit like me. I got a lot of belly and not much length.
Too much information.
That's Amanda Smith's baby Tanjo.
Look at a backbone bursting on that. That's lovely.
I think. Oh, That's again Amanda Smith's, but we'll see if we get a. There we go. Not the same fish, obviously.
Can you enlarge it a bit, Gaz?
Yeah, I'm struggling to see these. Oh yeah, that's nice. That is. Now I can see it. Oh, it's quite a size as well.
54 cm.
Yeah.
Well done.
And this, I think this is, this is Amanda. Got to spot the actual, the little tancho because he is in here somewhere.
This is how Aaron sees all his fish.
He's there.
Yeah, it's gone behind at the top now.
Yeah, there he is.
I love seeing little tosai in tanks. I think they look mint.
Look at that.
Mm. Look at that. What do you look at?
Now then, Amanda's, again, the same one. The 54 cm one.
Nice.
Who's that? Google.
Rick, are you going to turn into a fucking pumpkin or something?
You should see my glass slippers, mate.
That was Frank. One of my clocks.
Oh right.
Yeah, is that the last of them? It is. That's the last of them on the Facebook group. Apart from the one that Nigel posted, but he stuck it in another conversation. So we have to go down through into the conversation to find the one that Nigel gate crash, which was this one, so that we can see.
Not tancho, is it?
No.
Show us.
That's worse than mine. That's just not. That's stretching it, isn't it?
It's not stretching. It's just totally not in that class.
I mean, this is the one that Nigel posted, wishing it was his.
And he's got a tattoo of that said fish on his arm.
Yeah.
That's a front cover of one of Koi Talks magazine.
Koi Talk magazine.
And that's one hell of a specimen, that though, isn't it? That's beautiful.
Cheers.
Nice,
do you think they'll ever do an episode with weird front cover?
Naked photo shoot for a calendar.
Do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
We've got in there.
I'd do it, but I don't think you'd want me to do it.
Vince, not fucking put them off, son.
Fish cover each nipple.
We've got Richard's, Rick's.
That's a Muratan Haku.
Any falls off the rest of it. That's a tancho, mate. I don't keep tanchos. They're a nightmare. So
who's this? Is this yours, Rick?
Yeah, sorry. It's one of my little babies.
I thought you said you were stretching it. That's taking the piss, mate, not stretching it.
I was just waiting for the belly to fall off the rest of the body and it'd be perfect.
just chuck it in the Munger pond. It'll soon happen.
Nice Kahaku, though, mate. That's not a bad thing.
There you go. I don't keep tanchos because they're a nightmare. So,
mate, they're a pain in the arse, mate. I ain't gonna lie.
And I don't think, Vince, you haven't sent me one, have you? You haven't sent your picture in yours.
No.
Why not, mate? It's still alive.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
let's celebrate that.
It'll be in here somewhere. About 9,000 comments back and forth and conversations all day long, but it'll be in here somewhere.
Fuck me, you two actually look like brothers.
Here's here somewhere. Oh, there we go. We might as well share that. That's my fish that we got from Vince. That is the fish.
Is that an Adam Boyer spawn by any chance?
Yeah, that's the one that I showed last week, my Kumon Rule. That's what it was originally like. I mean, I know it's off topic, but it's as close to some of those other tan shows that we've seen.
That's not even a Deutsch Ojibwa in the first place.
Well, what would you say that is then? That's what it looked like when I picked it up.
Off the shelf Shishui, isn't it? It's a Shishui with Komomryu. That's where it looks, where it comes from, isn't it?
It's brown and grey though, Ricky. So it's a Deutsch Ojibwa.
Not really, because it's a Shishui, isn't it? It's lateral loaded Benny on the grey.
Got a bottle of water.
If that had been
on the screen for you, Rick,
it'd be a Shishui, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I can't see Shisui there. I'm seeing Deutsch Ojibwa.
So what's it now?
That is Shishui without the dark scales along the back.
I don't know
It's
where
brown, not
Anyway.
orange, Ricky.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Of course it does.
What are those yellow things Ricky's selling? Yellow and blue whackers, Shishuis.
Hey, your whackabers. Keep Shisui in other words.
Your whackabers went out the shop quicker than they went in the pond, mate. They sold
but
fast.
are they yellow Shishuis?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, there you go.
What are they called? Wacky Backy.
Wacky Backy.
Ayahuasca.
Ah, Wacky Backy.
A yellow monkey is a Karashigo and a wacky bar is a yellow Shishui.
Right. Well, that's the Tancho week. Now, what I need.
You missed mine.
What did you do with mine then? Did you eat mine, Gaz?
Yeah, and where's mine anyway?
I stepped out there doing things on my pond. That was yours, Rick.
I thought I'd send you a proper one.
No. That's all you said, mate. Saying, this is all I've got. Is this any good?
I spent 20 minutes chasing a bloody fish around the pond and you haven't even showed her.
1 second, Daz. 1 second.
Out of order, Gaz.
Life and limb. I was sticking here in water.
Yeah.
All those tanchos, mateys that passed away is the best. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Done. I don't know. I've dropped the tone a bit.
Resign, mate. Resign.
I finally caught the best tancho in the pond and the bloody battery was flat on my phone. 10 o'clock at night I was out there. Bloody.
I would have put it in the toy shop, mate, and then gone and put 10% in my phone.
Now, you remember what you just said then? You finally caught the best tancho in the pond.
No, I said, yeah, but I didn't photograph it.
Lost it.
That's Naz's tancho. That's his other tancho.
I'm going to have mine. Sorry.
Mate,
Come on, Dad. So that's stretching it.
A tancho is one of the easiest fish to identify, and 95% of you fuckers got it wrong. Fucking Jesus. Sorry, not a swearing there. Alan Tate's even just joined. Oh, you got to look at these tanchos, mate. They're next level.
They are next level. That's the point. We're pushing the bench, Mark.
Only get better.
I mean, I did get one mobile one sent, but I don't think I ain't got the capability of bringing it off. It is on my actual phone. So somebody just did say they've just sent me one in an email, which I can't even bring up either because that's attached to the phone.
Alan said that he's seen them, no comment. I think he was just saying evening to let everyone know he's just seen their tanchos, or AKA tancho, potentially.
He is blown away by the new level.
Wait for the show. It's going to be amazing.
Some of them were stretched. The best one we saw was from a cover magazine.
Looks as if Alan agreed with the Shishui.
Where's mine?
Yours.
Craft, yours obviously look like a tancho.
I'm really not a leather tancho, but this one, I thought it got me, if I'm honest.
No, I think it's obviously too good. Sack it off.
Yeah.
Did it have a round spot on its head?
No, it's all over the body, and then like a marathon spot. That's a tancho.
Yeah, that do.
There we go. There's Crafted.
Oh, that's just so
It's a
disappointing.
fucking koi wholesale fish.
No,
Yeah. That'd be Photoshop.
Oi!
That's where he buys them from.
This is all Crafted tanchos that he's selling in his shop.
No, that's really not. That's in my pond. I have to buy from him. No, but I am selling these soon, though.
These
Look at
are all
that Harry
Crafted.
pattern.
These are his tanchos. Look, there's one there.
Better than some of yours.
No, Crafty, you're wrong. It's better than all of ours.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, Sakai line. I can't wait to see how that progresses. Looking at the Sumi placement. I really
Starting
want to-
bid, 100 quid. Who would give me 100?
I think I bagged it for 200 quid.
He's back. Wow. Is that in your pond?
Yeah, it's in my actual pond. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, sweet.
Yeah. That's why I sent you the other picture. That's proof that it's in my, well, it's not proof, but it's in my, if you go on my Facebook page, you'll see that I put it on there. So that's actually in my measuring bowl, that picture.
Be nice when all that Sumi fades out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the belly falls off.
Make a nice shroom, would you?
Nice white fish swimming around in the pond.
Every pond should have
Gaz has got plenty of them.
But to be fair, when Nige did actually ask, said, when you're fed up of it, can I have it? As soon as that Sumi's gone and that Benny's gone, he can have it. It's not a problem.
Are you going to charge him?
No, I'll just give him it, mate. I'm not like that.
All right, just checking.
I might charge him for the Sakai Italy, but that's about the Saki Italy, but that's about it.
Here's Wills. Oh God, this is getting better every week.
This channel's gone right downhill since it started. To be fair. Okay, right. So let's do the next one, which is. Can I pick? Oh, mate, that's the best yet.
If Alan judged on that, he'd say, "Well, the pectoral fins are far too small for the body."
What he hadn't said, that was made by Alan, aged 5.
Yeah.
Get in. That's Wales. Nice one, bud. You're cold.
Of course she's Gaz, of course she's cold. You got a hole in your roof, mate.
Can I pick the next fish, Gaz?
Just back off.
Can I pick the next fish?
Yeah, what's the next variety, Gaz?
Well,
Can I
that's
pick
the
one?
thing. I would like
Richie.
if one of our 75 viewers, member of the public, could do me a huge favour, click on the link on the top. Come on and pick us a fish. What we're going to be having for the next variety. That'd be absolutely fantastic if you wouldn't mind somebody doing that, because these guys have picked one before, and I would like somebody new to give us our next fish. I think isn't next week, not next week, the week after. Isn't that Bendigo?
Supposedly.
What's happened?
When did that one come up?
You as somebody did pick Bendigo, did they not?
Aaron's son did,
I think
didn't
it
he?
was Aaron. Yeah,
That's
Leo.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I
No, that
think
goes down.
next week, the week after is Bendigo, but we do need somebody to do short-bodied koi.
Gaz, it's such a shame you can't show your Bendigo because it's got a black spot. It's not Bendigo.
Mine's a tancho now, isn't it? Shit, I should have had it balled up. So I'll require somebody to come on and do it, Pinky. So quick, click the link, jump on.
Pinky's put her
Won't be
under.
many on the next
That's
one then,
awful.
do
I can't believe you said that.
What was that?
Saying that, though, I've got some Tamasaba coming to the shop next week.
Lucky you.
They just look like exploded fucking goldfish.
Right, it looks like a coin with down.
The Weird and Wonderful, mate. I think technically we might have had that one already. That's the Weird and Wonderful ones in that lot. Anybody want to jump on?
Hang on, I think we've got to pick the best fish, mate. I quite like that Ginrin one that was on.
The Ginrin
First one.
That one?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
First one.
Yeah.
It went downhill from there, didn't it, pretty much?
One of them was really nice Ginrin. No, I don't agree with that one. It's not
Mr. DT, there's only 7 places within the actual camera, mate. No, only 6. I can't have 7 people on. Add to stream. No, can't do it. Limited to 6. There you go. Bye-bye.
Harsh.
That's quite cool. That's the Crescent Moon special dot Matt Sakauerback special.
I quite like that. That's a nice fish. Are we saying that that's the best one of the evening?
Yeah, Crafty doesn't agree, so I'm going for it.
Yeah, we're overruling Crafty.
Oh, that one.
Not that one. Not that one.
Not that one. Oh, that one.
White spot. I don't know.
That's an egg.
I get lots of things on the Facebook group. I can't choose what people put order in. Again, nah.
That would be a winner if it's alive.
Yeah.
Hoshik had written all over that.
Tony.
We could have a member of public. We could have a member of public. And
that was Frank.
Priority.
Frank was donging again.
To die, I'm afraid.
There's a quick recap.
We can still do a posthumous award.
Ah, that's the one. I like that one.
It's not Tancho.
It looks like a cigar that's lit.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know.
I think that's a lovely fish.
I think it's a lovely fish.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one.
No chance.
Oh, you go.
Right.
That first one's better than that.
I bet you 500 quid on a gift card. That's better.
Not a chance.
You're not listening. I bet you 500 quid on a gift card. That's the winner.
I'd lose 500 quid and vote for the better fish.
I like it.
I do like that. That's nice.
I like that one.
That's got some nice Ginrin on that.
Go back to the first picture, mate. Come on.
I don't like
Don't let him have it, mate.
Oh.
That's got better Ginrin, better shape, better interest.
Yeah, it has got a better body.
Got a better body.
Actually, no spot though, Rick.
Who cares about pan, Vince? Body.
Christ,
Alan,
Joe. We have a judge, Alan. Which is the better of the? Let's keep you as you're the top man. You're the top banana. Let's have it. Is that the better one or
number 1
or number 25 when I get there?
There.
Or number 2.
No contest, Alan, or I'm not going to go visit you. Ever.
Oh, that one.
Definitely that one.
You're an horrible bastard. You can't say that.
What?
I've got to say that the best 2 is
Hang
that
on,
one in
I'm
my
going to
mind.
ring the old fucker. Let me ring him up.
Don't bother. It's a done decision.
I mean, yeah, that's a better fish.
Cheers, Gaz. After all this time.
But the other one is a better Tancho. Are we not judging Tancho?
No.
No.
We're judging Tancho, not body shape.
Please don't swear.
Number 1, number 2 isn't a Tancho.
Bastard.
I'll put the answer on the screen, you donkey.
You hear it? Say it again.
I'll put the answer on the screen, you donkey. Number 1. Number 2's not
Number
even.
1.
You're fucking out of order, man. You didn't see what we had to look at.
Cheers, Alan.
you need to put your contacts in, lad. I'll be having a word with you tomorrow.
Yeah, keep your fucking glasses on, boy.
So there you go, Mark. Winner.
Love you.
Adios.
Yeah, he said number 2 is definitely the winner.
No, well, everybody heard it. You don't
Yeah,
care.
I'm sure he said.
Quality is unwavering. Quality is sure.
To be fair, Humbercoy's
that
fish was better, but it was literally his pericina with a red dot that is circled on the middle of it. And
personally, I think the Hoshikin one was the best one.
Yeah, but it's not alive anymore, so we couldn't really count it, could we?
Hang on a minute. When a soldier dies and they get a VC, they still get an award.
Yeah.
Posthumous.
Best ancho. That's not a great award.
Best ancho award. Posthumous.
It could be the posthumous winner.
No, posthumous.
Mm.
Humor.
Tony's posthumous.
Posthumous.
He's so dry, and you can roast your nuts on him.
That's the Oxonian in me.
What planet's that then?
We did get one other question that we could probably wrap up with. Johnny Longdon would like to hear a little bit. Would like to hear a little bit more about in depth about filtration. He likes different types of media benefits as well. Filtration pipes. I know there's loads of topics on it on YouTube, but they don't go into enough depth for some of the new hobby. It's a bit mind-baffling. So there you go. Best filtrations, best media, and simplifying it for a beginner.
That sounds like your specialised field, Vince.
Well, the first question back is budget, isn't it? It's budget first and foremost.
Budget. I was going to say budget.
Size of pond, budget.
Price didn't come into it. A more in-depth chat about filtration, the different medias and benefits of them, as well as filtration pipe. He'd like to, he knows YouTube is full of them, but nobody really goes in depth with it for a new hobbyist.
Again, it has to
Sure,
come back
I've got
to
a few
budget.
videos.
You know, it all depends on your budget, what your wallet says. Your wallet tells you, dictates what it is that you can afford. So,
If you're a poor fuck like me, you make most of what you got.
you're not poor, Vince. You're just tight as fuck.
You got options. Just leave them in the bank.
Yeah, just
Before his numbers do completely drop off, if there anybody is that would like to come on and pick a fish, please do so, or otherwise there will be no koi appreciation next week.
There will be. Not next week.
Week after will be the Benigoi. After that, unless one of you guys want to pick one,
Harawaki.
Harawaki.
Yeah,
we're going to go with.
Go for a Chiba. A Chiba.
A Chiba stink.
Chiba just a brown fish out.
Nothing wrong with a Chiba. Wash your mouth out, young man.
A Chiba's one of my
very nice Chiba.
I have spent most of this season producing a Chiba. I'll have so many Chiba next year. You all will have loads of them.
Oh,
So dumb. Harawaki. A nice.
Harawaki.
Yeah.
Harawaki. Okay. I ain't got one. I have, but it's crap. So.
Whoa! Hang on, right, guys. I want to take you back to when you said you was doing this. You said all about appreciating the fish that you got in your pond.
Yeah, but I don't want it in my pond. I get rid of it this week. Sweet.
That's why you call it the crappy wacky.
The Shuro. Pinky, click the link.
No, don't Pinky. Click the link. We're going to do Crappy Wacky.
Come on and pick it. Pick your fish. Click the link. The whole idea is to get new faces onto the actual show. Alan says Shura. Right, there you go. All right, then. There we go.
What, Alan's bigger than me? Oi,
Three
Harawaki.
people have said the same fish. I do want to do a Harawaki. Link, it's at the top of the chat.
It's not, mate.
It is. I posted it there.
It's gone.
It can't go. It's still there. I can
Crappy
see
wacky.
It's Link.
You've had too many beers, Rick. You.
I
Link there.
have. Big busy week, mate. This is my night off.
Click
Cheers.
that link. Come pick a fish. But I will have to remove somebody to allow that person to come and pick the link.
Yeah, you got me down.
I'm probably due a wee break, to be fair.
You know that better happen every 5 minutes now, don't you?
Come on, Mrs. Pinky.
Have you not got a little pint pot?
Just
yes.
Click the link. Click the link and come pick your fish if you want to put your fish.
Get on with
That's it. Click the link. Come on. Somebody click the goddamn link. It's not that hard. It's not that
If I
bad.
take you to the toilet, is that weird?
No, but it'd be a good laugh.
Well, Sky, you're
You missed out on that.
Do what? You're eating.
I would say.
Right, 1 second.
I would say. Fuck me, Rick. Do you piss out of that?
Not yet.
No, definitely not on this show.
No.
Right, 1 sec, Tony. What do you say, Will?
Yes, people.
Oh my God, I want Willie, not killing.
People watch Emmerdale. It's fucking Paddy off of Emmerdale. Hey, Pads.
Hang on.
Hang on. It looks better from on top.
You click the link, it says you have no mic. What did you click the link with? Your mobile
Volume,
phone?
have I?
You're in.
Yeah, we go. Yeah, we're on. You hear me?
It's Paddy from Emmerdale, everyone. Welcome,
What's going on
Paddy.
Will, what you got?
Can't hear none.
You can't hear nothing. We can hear you.
They can't hear you say that, guys.
And there we go.
Does it go this way on Koi Talk when they do it like
Click the link on your mouth, but you've not got a microphone. Click the link on your mobile phone, and that will give you a microphone.
Mate, we have no problems on Koi Talk.
Do you not?
No.
Is it all pre-recorded or something?
It's boring as shit, though.
Is it? Because Gaz is a nightmare.
I love Gas, man. He's fucking such a northern twat. It's unreal.
He was born in Slough.
Oh my God, that's even worse, mate. You're plastic.
Oh, is it said I was born where?
In Slough.
I was born in Huddersfield, mate. Born and bred.
You definitely look like you're from Slough, mate.
I'm on a laptop. Your laptop doesn't have a microphone built into it. Oh, right. Well, unfortunately, you can't go on and pick a fish then.
What did I choose?
I mean, lemon Arawaki.
You said.
There we go. So there we go. We're gonna. Rick's picked the fish, lemon Arawakis, and nobody's wanted to join.
That'd be an easy one, mate.
Not got one of them.
Easy. Mate, there'll literally be 3 fish next time.
3 fish?
Yeah, not everyone's, hardly anyone's got a lemon Arawaki, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go and buy one, ain't I?
I've got some
Arawaki.
I've got loads of tail, mate.
Well, we're gonna go with
odor back,
Arawaki
mate.
then. Or somebody did put a kikikuru.
What Kinkuru?
Kikikuru. Right, that's what he said. Kikikuru, which would be
a kick of you.
There is hen teeth as well.
Yeah, they are.
What about a Benny Kikakuru? Ooh.
Benny Kikakuru.
But we're going to do Deutsch Harawaki, or just Harawaki, or lemon Harawaki.
Yeah, let's have Yellow Monkey on.
Well, I ain't got one.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
Just make one hairy and give it arms and legs, mate. It definitely work.
I ain't got no monkey either. I'm not robbing no zoo. Not for this show. This has all gone to shit. Hasn't it?
I like the idea of an Uchiba myself.
Thank you, Tony.
Tony,
Yeah, I like
next time.
Lemon Arawaki.
It's gone.
He's back.
No, it's back again.
Let's do a deal, Tony. This time, Arawaki. Next time, not Arawaki.
Can tell he's had a beer, can't you? It's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. He works hard. Bless him.
Not beer and beer.
Alan takes pipes up again. Shiro. Alan, you can piss off now. Right, get to bed. Have your
He's
tablet.
only wanting a Shiro because that's all he's got. He's just got a pond full of them, isn't it?
Hey, I'm up for Shiro.
I went for Shiro as well.
I'm up for Shiro. On a good week, let's do it like a bonus 100th week or something, like a bonus week.
I'll tell you
when
what.
We all give out prizes from Crafty for like everyone.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, guys. You could actually put a poll out.
The winning envelope.
You could actually put a poll out, mate. If you want.
Yes, there you go. That's an idea. We'll put a poll out.
Oh.
Shiro emoji. New one on me, that one.
Oh, there we go. There we go. 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, Tony. 1 more second. Here we go. Pinky.
Beautiful fish behind.
The only trouble is I haven't got any pink at the moment because I've just had my roots done.
Have you got any clothes on, Pink?
For 4 weeks' time.
Have I what?
Have you got any clothes on, love?
Oh, is that a requirement?
No, it's just the wrong website, darling.
Oh, damn.
And it's not a requirement, it's through your own choice if you wish. What fish would you like to pick for 4 weeks' time?
A randa.
An aranda.
Oh, yeah, we'll go to that. I've got some of those.
Have a look what's behind them, man. That gives it away. What a beautiful century that is. Come on, let's face it. What a beautiful fish.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has their.
Oh.
I love arandas.
Oh, yeah, mate.
Yeah. They're cute.
I do like
They
that.
remind me of that frog that Shrek blew a straw up his arse and blew it out.
You're a bloody heathen.
Fish are fish, man. You've got to love them for what they are, mate.
For all those viewers that would like to join and have a talk about koi, which koi would you like to pick to go with your arandas? We're going to do both. I'm going to get both. I'm going to ask people to send us in the pictures of the aranda and a koi of your choice as well. Which
unfortunately, today I lost my Tancho Shiro.
Oh.
And it was my Adam Bayer Grow and Show one.
Oh, God damn.
That's
what's going on.
It was a shower, but it didn't. The only red it had was the Tancho spot.
Okay.
So yeah, a bit gutted. But we've got 6 fish left, and I've got an empty pond now, ready to put some little ones in. Once I've hit it with bleach.
Yeah.
Well, Pinky, come and see me, my love.
I'm gonna. In fact, I was gonna say to you, Crafty, we were due to come down and see you next Thursday, but I'm gonna have to cancel that because it's only a couple of days before Coventry, and
you might have a 500
quid. Yeah, but when we've got to go on the Saturday because hubby's working nights on the Saturday, so we wouldn't be able to go the Sunday. So you just have to post my certificate, Crafty.
Come and see me, my love. I'll look after
I will do. Well, I'm coming down to you because I know this is controversial, but
I know what you're going to say.
You know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
Could you have a ticket?
Don't say that B word.
I'm going to say the B word.
It's
the
a B
B word
word.
is coming. I want some butterfly.
Yes, there you
Well,
go.
Wash your mouth out with soap, young lady.
You need to be quick, Pinks. I've literally got about 15 left.
Have you got a pink one?
If you're a gentleman, you save them for them.
They're that popular.
Yeah, exactly.
I won't get any more this season, mate.
Pinky, any
Yeah.
good dealer would hold those fish for you. Remember him making that statement slightly earlier on
The whole year.
Tell you what, Pinky, you got me on Facebook, right? Give me a shout on Facebook. I'll give you a video consultation, show you what you got, and then if there's any in there that you'd like, then I'll put them to the side for you, my love.
Oh, you sweetheart. Thank you.
Peer pressure. Love it.
I've got
Love it.
Are you saying the fish that you would like to be?
Do
it. For 4 weeks' time, a randa and a butterfly koi.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Fair play.
I'm championing. I like butterfly koi. And
Cheers,
I
Pinky.
more
Come out.
women like them because they're floaty and pretty.
Cheers, Pinky, I'm out.
Yeah, but you know something, man, they are so popular. They're one of the quickest selling fish in our ponds, man. They come in, they go immediately. Man.
If that popularity, I'd have like a facelift and look like, what's that bird that sounds good? I don't know her name.
I thought you did.
What, anyone else other than you?
I thought he was going to say he's going to have his face changed like the bird that's on the Bud Light can.
I don't know if I look a bit more like Rihanna or Taylor Swift.
Let me help you out there, mate. More like Tina Turner, mate.
I like Tina Turner.
Mate, she's browners, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but she's got legs and everything.
Yeah, but she's brown bread now, mate.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. You look more like her now.
We've got this one from Mr. Lawson. They're not a koi.
Oh, yes, they are, Mr. Lawson.
No, they're not.
The Randers are definitely not a koi.
Yeah, Arandas are definitely not a koi, which is why we allowed it to pick a butterfly koi to go with it.
Why do you call it butterfly koi if it's not a koi?
It is a koi. It's from a breeder in Japan called Suda, if you want the best ones.
Yeah.
But if you want the worst ones, they come from America, China, Thailand, or anywhere else.
Where are yours from, Crafty?
Mine are from Suda in Japan.
Right.
Have you got an orange one, Crafty?
What colour?
Orange.
Yeah, I think I've got one.
Crafty. Have you got a pink one?
No.
It's got a really, really ill white one that looks a bit pink. You can have that.
Pink streaks in it.
Really, I'll tell you, my favourite type of butterfly is not a dead one, Vince. Before you say it, is a Gin Matsuba butterfly. I think they look ace when their fins get nice and big.
And have you got any of them in?
I have, and it's probably the nicest one in the pond.
Ooh, Pinky's in.
They're posh goldfish from Will. Tell me about your Arandas behind you. They're posh goldfish.
Oh, right.
I'm not opposed to a posh goldfish.
Lisa says, I love a nice butterfly, Pinky. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll also have Tamasaba in as well, Pinky.
Oh, and actually, Pinky, you've actually made Dave's day. He's actually put an oh my God in there because he's actually known as Pinko, and now he knows he's a Pinky as well. So he's chuffed to bits with that, aren't you, Dave?
Pinko and Pinky.
Most people call my husband Perky.
You can on a threesome together. Imagine that.
That's quality, man.
Pinko, Pinky, and Perky.
You got butterfly koi, Daz?
Yeah.
Very nice one.
But make sure you get them photographed for next time, then.
Yeah, I've already got mine done.
Are we really doing this?
Yeah, we are.
I can't believe we're doing this.
You're about to buy one now.
The lady has picked the selected 2 fish that she would like to see. And at the end of the day, this is what it's about. It's about the public show. We're just a panel. We go with the public.
I bet Mr. Tate's sat there going, oh my word.
Power to the people, Gaz.
Look,
Power.
Mr. Tate wants to see more butterfly koi at shows. He admitted it to me last time when I saw him at the Newark Gown. So
he did say the whole show about him, didn't he? A whole show.
The whole show just about
Got a secret appreciation for them.
Mate, I spoke to Alan this morning on the way into work. He actually said to me that he's a secret lover of butterfly koi and he likes to judge them.
We should all send him one.
The princess to me.
Imagine
I'd
that.
like to purchase one.
A butterfly shiro.
Now you are swearing.
Oh,
I don't think I've seen a butterfly shearer actually.
Shame.
Thank fuck for that.
Can you get
Perhaps we
Deutsch,
can make one.
can you get Deutsch butterfly?
Oh yeah, I've got some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got some in now.
No,
yeah, I believe we have. Yeah.
I mean, you could pull the scales off if you wanted. It'd be quite fun.
Yeah, I think I might have a Shisui variant of a butterfly koi. Look at them feet.
What the hell's that?
Craft. We're going into no man's land.
What's that?
It's a poodle.
Is that a doodle with pink feet?
No, it's not a fucking doodle.
Well, I'm fucking glad I'm not married to you. Jesus.
It is a pink poodle.
It's a poodle with pink paws.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then there's another one.
How did you get its feet pink, if you don't mind me asking? Being a black dog and all.
Has it stepped in
Whisper live.
Yeah, it stepped in a pot of dye.
Yeah.
No.
No, she done its roots first and then she dyed it afterwards.
It was dipped in
Is that
some PP.
Is that Perky?
It's been dipped in PP, mate.
Oh, dear me. And you got a question from the audience says, is that Perky?
No. Shall I show you Perky? He won't like it.
Very Perky. This is a bit wet. There we go.
I like the fact they're both on their own laptops as well. Did you pick that up? Far too much money. You need to get rid of all of them laptops. Come and spend some more money with me. Look at that.
Crafty, Alan says it starts in F and finishes in F. Or whatever you want in between.
That's my man.
I'm buying Mr. Taylor.
And it has uck and oof in the middle.
I'm going to buy him a butterfly coin and personally deliver it to him.
See, Alan gets it. Alan gets it.
No, Alan will get it and all when I see him next.
Yeah, yeah, we all know about it.
There we go. The choice has been made.
I came on without my pinkness in.
I know.
Well, you can jump in your pink little Mini that you've got. Mini Cooper, is it? Mini Cooper S?
Mini Cooper S, yeah.
Nice.
You need to bring a trailer when you come down to the shop.
It's a pity you didn't buy a proper Mini, though, and you went with one of these new BMW piles of crap. But all the same,
it's actually a supercharged one, so it's
supercharged as well.
Yeah, not a turbo, supercharged.
Has it been John Cooper?
No, it hasn't got John Cooper written on it because it's not John Cooper works.
No, it's not John Cooper. Oh, that's a shame. The nicer the John Cooper works.
Yeah, they're also a lot of money.
Yeah,
but it's still not a proper fucking Mini.
No, it's not.
No,
Mini.
It's not. But it's still a Mini. And everything.
No, it's not.
Everything.
It's a BMW.
It's not. It's a Mini.
It's Mini. It's a
The name on it
BMW
is Mini.
version of a Mini.
And
call them
it's pink and
Minis.
fucking sparkly.
Yeah.
It trades as a Mini. Next, you'll be telling me, right, that a Jaguar is not a Jaguar because it's built by Ford. And Jags are built by Ford.
They are now, yeah.
Yeah, they are now.
Well, a Mini.
Still not a proper Mini, though.
It's not the original 60s Mini, but it's a Mini.
And it's not the newer non-Mini.
They're even newer non-Mini. The Countrymen and Clubmen.
Yeah.
Oh, because they're even fucking worse. Have you seen that remake of the Clubman?
It's nice.
It looks dog shit.
A BMW.
They're not actually that Mini, though, either, are they?
No.
Exactly, Simon. BMW.
Well, they are. They are a BMW. I mean, technically they're a BMW. They've changed the full plan of them all and everything.
Yeah, they've changed the wheelbase. They've changed the height. They've changed the width. It's not a Mini. I'm sorry, I'm too old school. That's not a Mini.
Okay, then I've got a biggie.
Well, mind you, we've gone past the telephone.
Everybody knows a little bit more about Perky.
Gaz, have you seen the time, Gaz? We're 10 minutes away from 4 hours.
Yeah, which is why I just said on that note. On that note, we'll wait for him to get back just in time with his next beer. But so in 4 weeks' time, it will be Aranda's fancy goldfish or butterfly koi. If you've got either, you would like to share either of them with us, and we will be getting Mr. Tate to judge them. The best, may the best butterfly koi and Aranda win. So the next one will be in 2 weeks' time, picked by Leo from Humber Koi, which will be Bennygoys. If you've got your Bennygoys, drop us them in. We will be having those ones on the next Koi Appreciation in 2 weeks' time, and then after that we'll be having the Arandas and butterfly koi. They will take place on this show. Butterfly koi. There'll be some of us that will be unhappy about it. There'll be others that will love it. But the choice was made by Pinky. Usual thing, guys. If you can do me a huge favour, like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend. Till next time.
Keep smiling.
There we go. Thanks very much. That's all for a long evening, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
Good evening, all.
Night.
Good night.